Welcome back to Six Gun Grill Newlands, where we are watching what is in effect the final of the Women's Super League. Shabnam Ismail of the Thistles into Laura Volpart of the Coronations, and immediately Laura Volpart plays that to the square leg boundary for 4.
Yeah, the perfect start. We do know that the Coronations need to win this game and win it relatively comprehensively if they're going to overtake the Thistles on net run rate. Somewhere in the region of 24 runs they need to win by in order to do that. We've got a couple of changes to the lineups, some surprising ones in fact. The Coronations have dropped their second highest run scorer Kirsty Thompson, as well as Raisibe Intazake, and in their places Madison Landsman, the 16-year-old's back, as well as a debut for Khomotso Rapu as Shabnam Ismail in again.
And it is for the Thistles, they have made 2 changes as well. Is it 2 or 1 change? 1 change in the team.
It's
Alexandra Candler comes in for
Kayakazi Mate.
So the Thistles with 2 wins so far in the tournament, having really shown in the first match their fast bowling attack, really taking apart the Starlights. And then in their second match, scoring an exceptional total of 148, which was unable to be overcome.
The highest total at the time, but since been overtaken twice this morning, 150 and then 149, the 2 scores in the earlier game.
And what a match that was. Hopefully you were watching on Pitch Vision.
We've really been treated so far with the matches that have been served up in this WSL 3.
So premier bowler to premier batsman in South Africa, and that's a beautiful shot by Laura Volpart. You won't see a straight drive than that.
Volpart winning the battle so far between these 2 top international players.
And it's been noticeable, Chris, when one considers in the previous match that when the international players are not performing, or when they do in fact go out from a batting point of view, that it's become quite difficult for the remainder of the team to actually put the runs on the board. And we'll talk about that a bit more now, as it's from the Kelvin Grove end, Shabnam Ismail. And another one of our internationals, Tumiseka Kuna, the captain of the Thistles, who's done a fantastic job in the field so far in the tournament.
Premier fielder.
She is an outstanding fielder.
Lovely run out, brilliant catch off her own bowling.
And captain of this very strong bowling lineup, it must be said, from the Thistles' point of view. Yesterday, interesting who their top bowlers were.
Oh, beautiful shot, but doesn't get past Moseline Daniels, who just rebounds it on to Tumiseka Kuna. Yeah, so the best figures we've seen so far. We saw a 4 for yesterday from Benetti, which means she's sitting tied first overall on the leading wicket table with 6 wickets, along with Masabata Klaas. Klaas didn't manage to take another one this morning, so just a single wicket from Benetti will put her up top overall on the wicket-taking list.
Unlikely to be caught unless Ayabonga Kaka has an absolute blinder of a match.
Or Jade De Figueiredo is also sitting on 3 wickets, Ayabonga Kaka on 4. Those are the closest to Benetti on Klaas, who are sitting on 6.
So to open the bowling from the Weinberg end, it is going to be Benetti, Nombulunko Benetti.
Yeah.
It's going to be opening the bowling for the Thistles, which is a change, isn't it, from their normal. It wasn't Daniels, was it, who opened with them? But
it was Kayakazi Mate. It was Mate doing some bowling, but she's correct. Not on the side today.
So Benetti, Mate was opening, but Benetti is now opening and starts.
So we see Madri van Staden signal the wide there. She's one of the 2 umpires, the one at the Weinberg end. Our other umpire at the Kelvin Grove end is Cherie Steyn, who's currently at square leg.
And the 4 umpires that have been standing in this tournament, done an outstanding job so far.
Definitely.
Tasman Brits playing that one very nicely through the leg side, and that's going to go once again all the way to the boundary for 4. That's a nice shot from Tasman Brits to get her off the mark, and she'll like it there on the leg side, quite strong in that area.
A real challenge here for Benetti, who has been coming on as first change rather than an opening bowler, to come straight up against 2 of the best in the business in Laura Volpart and Tasman Brits.
And these two very, very important for the Coronations to get a big total on the board.
That's a better delivery there from Bonetti.
And Figueiredo in very quickly from mid-off. So the field for Bonetti to Tasman Brits, we have a short third man, backward point, cover, extra cover, mid-off, mid-on, mid-wicket. We have a long leg on the boundary and a fine leg. It's almost like a backward square leg on the boundary. That's well bowled. It's tightened it up quite a bit after the first two. The wide and then the one on the legs, that one just angling in. And nice bit of shape on that one.
The field may suggest that they're looking to attack the wickets with the fine leg and the deep square leg.
Quite happy to give Tasman Brits the single down to those areas, which are some of her big scoring areas.
And this one is on the legs, and it goes exactly to where that field is placed, down to fine leg, so just a single there.
And soft signal from Marie van Staden is that that was on the leg? No, maybe not. Yes, she's about to signal that. It was off the pad of Tasman Brits. So another extra, so two extras in this over so far, one wide and one leg by, as Laura Wolfart takes a strike for the first time at the Kelvin Grove end. Bonetti just struggling the first two deliveries, but really has done better. Should be wise to try and keep it outside that off stump.
Lovely delivery, good controlled shots as well from Laura Wolfart. Good.
So tactics from the Coronations here, Chris.
You can always rely on a solid innings from Wolfart. Carry on with that tactic.
She'll be out this ball, of course, now that you said that.
And they don't have Kirsty Thompson down the order to back Wolfart up in this game. As thick outside edge from Laura Wolfart that just beats the short third man and runs away to the boundary. Not where she wanted to put it, but it means she moves on to 12. Very much dealing in boundaries so far, Laura Wolfart.
Absolutely, and really haven't only faced a small number of balls, but 3 of those going to the boundary. And she'll be very happy so far with their performance. 18 after the first 2 overs for the Coronations. And a big score is what they'll be looking at getting on what is turning out to be a very flat pitch. This morning,
talking about it, it's effectively a day 3 test pitch after experiencing 80 overs on the first day, 80 overs on the second. And the boundaries coming in as well for the second and third day. The run scoring has just gone up and up. It's been very entertaining cricket from everyone involved.
As indeed, Shabnam Ismail, the express pace bowler for South Africa, is bowling to a 6-3 offside leg side field, and we'll give you that field after this delivery to Tasman Brits. That one just stunned the ball into her pad. We have got for Ishmael bowling to Brits. We have a third man. We have backward point, cover, extra cover, or more. It's more conventional point, cover, extra cover, and a mid off. And the backward point is more. It's like a deep gully almost.
Only 3 on the leg side.
3 on the leg, yeah. Long leg, mid wicket, and mid on. And Shabnim is not going to bowl on the legs to Tasman Brits. Anything down the leg side, one senses she's going to whip away for 4.
Right, yeah, just over those short catching fielders there.
So 2 dot balls to start the over for Shabnim Ismail. She was very successful in that match against the Starlights, getting the wicket of Lizelle Lee's second ball, which really stunted the Starlights batting. And that she picks out the fielder there, does Tasman Brits, going out into that mid-wicket area where it's fielded by Nonkululeko Tabete, who impressed yesterday with her batting for the Starlights.
Both her and Trisha Teti did very well up at the top of the order.
And getting into the 40s, it was really a good innings, shots all around the wicket. Another very good delivery.
Yeah, this is just top-notch cricket from both bat and ball, to be expected from these international players.
Yeah, I think it's important for the Coronations that they're facing, Ishmael and Daniels, both class bowlers, and you have you can see them off to me as well. Yeah, it's normally incredibly economical, pitching it on a ticky, basically every ball. That's a good run, is it? Yes, it is. Ends up being a good run. I think she would have been safe anyway had there been a direct hit.
Yeah. Not the best backing up, but they don't manage to go through for a second.
No.
They do think about it for a moment. Also worth mentioning, Laura Wolvart now sitting second overall on the top scorers table. She'll need a total of 61 here to equal Sinelli's, so quite a challenge ahead of her.
Just gone past 100 runs for the tournament, Chris. She got 89 off her first 2 innings, and now 12 not out in this innings. She'll be facing Shabnam Ismail, last ball of her second over. And that one is going to go all the way to the mid-wicket boundary, and that was just too straight.
Yeah, and just very, very close there from Tabete. Got a lovely attempt at a diving stop, but it just got past her and ran away.
Laura Wolfart is certainly dealing in boundaries at the moment. That takes her to 16 4-4s that she's hit so far. End of the third over, and the Coronations are fairly racing along at 23 without loss. They would want a very good opening partnership, and Wolfart 16 off 9, Tasman Brits 5 off 9, and this partnership already 23. Tasman Brits will be looking for a score, won't she, today? She's been struggling to get sort of beyond the double figures and into anything like a really decent score, which one would expect her to get in the tournament.
Call her first 2 innings starts, but then not capitalising on them. She managed a 15 off 21 and then 10 off 13 in the second game, as we see Benetti back into the attack, continuing her spell.
Yeah, and not much foot movement there from Tasman Brits, reaching for the delivery, and Trisha Chetty taking it behind, standing up to Benetti. I think that's quite a good tactic against Brits.
Trisha Chetty, the pick of the wicketkeepers so far in the competition?
I would say so. She's certainly been standing up a lot. She's let virtually nothing through. That is has gone over the top of Jade de Figueiredo, and that is going to go to the boundary for 4 to Tasman Brits. So opening her shoulders a bit there against Mbulunko Benetti.
So the 6th boundary then in so far, just 1 single and a couple of extras.
They're not needing to rotate the strike at the moment, are they?
Right.
So the field is in still. There's a 5-4 offside leg side field, and then all the 5 fielders on the offside in the ring. And that was not a great delivery.
Too fast for de Figueiredo. She had no chance of getting there.
Yeah, that one. I mean,
not terrible bowling from Benetti, but the international class knows what to do with that.
Yeah, and I think Tasman not even trying to play that one square through the cover field, but just flat batting it back past the bowler.
Yeah, so 7 boundaries already after 3.5 overs. 7 boundaries would be a lot of boundaries on the first day after about 10 overs.
So now batting at more than a run a ball. Now 13 off 11 for Tasman Brits.
And happy to follow up the 2 aggressive shots with a more reserved one. Doesn't get any reward for it.
And it's Liz Marie Marks at the mid-wicket position that picks that one up. She's been pretty impressive with the bat, I must say, in the tournament so far. A very good 20 odd in the first match.
Yeah, and then 9 or 5. So good aggression in the second one.
Only coming in right towards the end. This one
Speaking
may well
of
be a
aggression,
catch.
here we go. Brilliant catch from
Jade
Jade de Figueiredo. That's the first wicket. Benetti goes to the top overall wicket taker. She's sitting on 7 now. Yeah. And that's a very important wicket, the end of Tasman Brits.
Yeah. And once again, Tasman Brits flatters to deceive, only getting the 13 off at 13 balls with 3 4s in that innings. And she'll be, I would think, very disappointed with her performance here.
She was looking so good up until that point. Perhaps, trying to stamp some authority on the innings. They're really going quite quickly. She's been rewarded for aggressive batting so far. Try to follow it up a bit more. Not quite getting it. And brilliant catch from de Figueiredo, judging the ball perfectly. Diving catch going forward.
And de Figueiredo missing out on the first match and coming in yesterday and taking 3 wickets in her spell. The slow left arm.
Yeah, no, she did play in the first match, but unrewarded on that occasion. Second match took 3 wickets with the most tempting bowling we've seen so far. She gives it unbelievable amount of flight.
So the batters crossed while that ball was in the air, and now a leading wicket taker Mbulunko Banetti is going to be bowling to Laura Wolfart. There's only one ball left in the over.
So for the first time in the WSL, Masabata class will not be the leading wicket taker. Leading wicket taker in WSL 1 and 2.
Right. Well, there we go. So this is could well be, there is going to be a new name at the top of that leaderboard.
And
oh my goodness, in the air from Laura Wolfart, but it does find the gap and races away for yet another boundary. She's on 20, 5 fours.
5 by 4.
And 20 off only 10 balls for Laura Wolfart. Strike rate is easy to work out there.
Right.
And that is unlike her actually at the beginning of an innings.
Although, we haven't seen too many loose shots either. That one perhaps the loosest, where it was going around chest height as it passed the circle. But between the fielders, she's been able to score at 2 runs a ball, but in a relatively reserved way, as we see Moseline Daniels drying up her hands on the square, looking to follow up the rapid bowling of Shabnam Ismail with some rapid bowling from Moseline Daniels. She's been one of my favourite bowlers of the competition so far, out of favour in the international side, at least in ODIs, still involved in the T20s. She's been so consistently fast and full and really putting the ball into the batter's court.
I couldn't agree with you more, Chris. She's been a great player for the Thistles in this particular tournament, as that variation to the attack, angling it across the right-handers. She's been very effective, quite economical.
Left arm seamer, the shortage of those in the South African women's setter. So real advantage here. Moseline Daniels, again, full, fast, follows up what she was doing yesterday and the day before with exactly the same.
That is very good bowling from the Proteas left armour. And she's coming in from the Kelvin Grove end here at 6 Gun Grill Newlands, and it is another beautiful day here. A bit of cloud on Monday, but last 2 days have been sunny skies.
New batter in is Azal Salia, who will be looking to capitalise. Again, a couple of starts. She managed a 9 off 6 and a 10 off 8. Good fast batting, but not quite capitalising on the starts. Yeah,
she unlucky in the match yesterday, where she nearly got the Coronations over the line against the Starlights in that match. It's Daniels again.
Full fast on the wickets.
You can tell Chris is loving this. It is really good bowling, and what we've come to expect from Moseline Daniels in this tournament so far, and across her career. I was really impressed last year in her bowling in the Pakistan series, Pakistan coming out again. She didn't go to India though later in the year.
Despite a superb T20 record, averages 23 with the ball in T20 internationals.
That's outstanding. That's really well played, and there is a fielder down here at third man. That's Elise Marie Marks, and so Moseline Daniels definitely bowling to her field, which is a 6-3 offside leg side field. So there's a third man, backward point, and a point, cover, extra cover, mid off, mid on, mid wicket, and long leg.
This will be an exciting context here. Moseline Daniels into Laura Wolfart.
Let's see what happens here. Oh my goodness.
The class of Wolfart comes to the top without having to be needlessly aggressive again, just guides it off the wickets. And that's another boundary. It just looks effortless.
It does, doesn't it? I mean, she now literally has raced to 24 off 11 deliveries, and she is only dealing in boundaries. But on the legs full to Laura Wolfart with only three fielders on the leg side, you've got no price. So possibly looking here at, Sine Luce, except that Sine's been batting brilliantly, but here probably one of the best bowlers and the best batters of this tournament so far.
And we've definitely seen, for the most part, the cream rising to the top. A lot of the expected players, and a few nice surprises like Bonetti, but Laura Wolfart, Sine Luce, really stamping some authority. Masabata class as well with the ball.
Absolutely, and we've seen some really good fielding from those top players as well. Some really excellent catches taken in the deep particularly, and a couple of spectacular pieces of fielding from Tumi Sekakune. Think of the catch off her own bowling, as well as the run out that she effected yesterday, which pretty much took the Duchess's key batter out of the equation.
And speaking of Tumi Sekakune,
she's coming on to bowl.
Captain bowling herself.
Bonetti. Yes, she's bowling herself now. Nombulunko and Bonetti going for a few too many in that second over.
But also the absence of Kaya Kazimata means
Yeah.
Tumise Kukune does have to bring herself on slightly earlier.
So let's see. First time I've seen her from the Weinberg end in the tournament, and that's a very good delivery to Isel Saliers, and she plays that down to Shabnim Ismail, who is here in front of us at long on, a position that she has been fielding at most of the tournament. Again, the fielders in these key positions for catches and getting to the ball quickly are the senior and pro tour players in the team. That's a very good delivery from Sekakune, and Wolfart this time not getting a boundary.
Yeah, very unusual to see the ball not racing away after hitting Laura Wolvart's bat.
And we have a ring offside field for the captain Tumi Sekakune, short third man, point, backward point, extra cover and mid off. And that is a really lovely shot.
Unrewarded as Tibet is exactly where she needs to be.
But that is, that's almost as if you're watching Laura Wolfart against the bowling machine. And Tumi Sekakune is almost like a bowling machine. I mean, she puts it on the spot.
Accuracy, yeah,
absolutely, in terms of the accuracy. Good fielding from Bonetti. That wasn't hit. It was hit quite well by Wolfart.
Another lovely drive. Slightly more effort needed for this one, but still doesn't make it past the ring as they scamper through for a single, and Wolvart's hit in the crossfire of the throw at the non-striker's end.
That's her first single. She moves on to 25 now off 15 deliveries. Alexandra Candler from KZN Inland there at cover.
Back in the side
fielding,
after
yes.
missing the second game.
Oh,
lovely delivery. There is an appeal. Madri van Staden is not interested.
No, not
Tumi
moved,
Sekakune a bit
unmoved.
frustrated by that one.
And Isel Salia just standing there and said, Madri van Staden shaking her head very quickly to that appeal. All the offside fielders must have heard something. Not
As
sure
we
what that
see
was.
the slow, difficult to tell without the
Very
sound,
difficult
but
to tell.
it still puts the pressure on the batsman, those sort of close
Does
chances
indeed.
like that, as Sekakune finishes up the power play with a nice full delivery.
Oh my goodness, that may well race away down the hill. Candler is chasing it.
I
and
think
you get
she manages to keep it
a brilliant piece of fielding there on the boundary by Alexandra Candler, and they take just the 2. And that is the end of the power play and the end of me for the moment. Welcome to Paul.
Hi everyone, how's it going so far?
Yeah,
You
very exciting cricket.
Kind of feel like the Thistles just need to break the stand and they move into Nadine de Klerk, Madison Landsman, and I think that would be a little bit would swing this innings in their favour. But so far, Laura is just being
This
Laura.
is the best we've seen anyone bat against the Thistles, I would gander, and unsurprising from Laura Wolvart. As we see at the end of the power play, we now have a long on. There's also a rather square, fine leg, deep third man, a sweeper on the cover boundary as the outfield.
Marceline Daniels straight
Oh,
killed that
good
ball.
ball.
Laura Wolfart had to go with a spectacular catch, and Marceline Daniels provided that one.
That is a game-changing moment from Rosalind Daniels. Brilliant delivery as she's been doing all through this tournament, but also great reflexes to take that massive scalp of Laura Wolvart. Yeah,
Yes.
so-
What a ball. It was straight to middle stump line. Laura playing the ball straight with the line. Marceline Daniels sticking out a paw and getting that ball. What a wicket.
Yeah, it's 25 runs, a rapid 25 in the end from Laura Wolvart, 25 of 16, I think, as we see
It
the
just
replay.
stood up a little bit as it pitched on that pitch, as it pitched over there. It was a foolish ball and just standing up a little for Laura, and as she returned it on the up, and Marceline taking a blind over catch. I don't think you'd see anything better in WSL 3.0. Next bat in looks like it's Madison Landsman.
Oh, we'll have to.
No, it is number 11.
I don't know. Who is Khomotsorapu?
Oh, Khomotsorapu.
No. Yeah. So
Mussolini.
the first we've seen of Khomotsorapu.
That's an LBW shout from the Thistles, and the umpire says not out, pitching outside leg mostly, but they run through for a leg bye.
Yeah, Moseline Daniels very much in her prime and pomp. This is vintage Moseline Daniels.
It is indeed Moseline Daniels, letting everyone know that she is pacey and accurate.
And some real pressure on.
Looking at
these
that
bats.
one, they were in with a shout. Question is whether it pitched
Swung
outside.
a bit, and yeah, quite a lot of in-swing on that one as well.
Swing and a most beautiful line there from Moseline Daniels. She has really impressed me throughout WSL with her accuracy. She's been bowling that ball pretty much on what you would call a handkerchief.
Exactly.
They're just on the batsman's
And
toes.
fast every time as well. That Moseline Daniels pace again, fast, full, like a metronome.
Single taken down to a long on by Isel Saliers.
So a bit of pressure here on Khomotsorapu. This is the first game that she's playing in the contest. One could see it as her taking the place of Kirsty Thompson, who has been up at the top of the order up until this point. She's been left out of the playing 11 today. Time to prove herself against some great fast bowling.
Good ball from Moseline, pushing Khomotso back there in her crease. Another dot ball. 46-2 currently the Coronations are. They need to put a total on the board, but batting first kind of sways in their favor in WSL seemingly.
Right.
The teams
Yeah.
chasing have struggled to put runs on the board. Great drive, square drive there from Khomotso, getting her first couple of runs in the WSL, and that ends that over. 4 runs off of it from Moseline Daniels with that
But
wicket.
Very importantly, will swing the momentum of the innings massively. Laura Wolvott not being there anymore.
So 48-4-2 are the Coronations in what we are calling the final of WSL 3.
And time for the rest of the Coronations to prove themselves batting-wise. This batting lineup has very much had that backbone of Wolvott and Thompson, neither of whom can do anything now. Both sitting in the pavilion.
But you still have the firepower of Nadine de Klerk, Protea's all-rounder, waiting to come on. She's sitting there, possibly hoping that these two can give us some sort of a foundation for her to come and use the power game later on. Tumi Sikukune is resuming at the Weinberg end.
Ambitious
Up in the
shots.
air, is it? Oh, just past the fielder at third man. Nice little innovative ramp shot there by
very bold.
Saliers.
You have to, backing herself there against the international fast bowler.
Yes, Tumi was gun straight there, and
It takes a lot of guts to do that first ball up to Tumi Sekukune.
oh, beautiful ball outside the off stump, enticing, bringing the batter forward to drive there. No edge there, unlucky for the Thistles.
Yeah, Hadidas doing their best to put Rapu off there. The loudest they've been all day, just as Tumi Sekukune was coming in. Another lovely delivery
Oh,
from
a
Sekukune.
beautiful ball. Another dot from Tumi Khomotsorapu's footwork.
Yeah.
Seemingly looking like she's just standing in a toilet, nowhere to move.
And found herself on her knees at the end of that, looking a little bit defeated by the delivery. Just lovely stuff from Tumi Sekukune. We're looking
Yes.
at if there's a chance of a stumping. We saw a lovely stumping yesterday from Trisha Chetty. Looks like the foot might have been in the air, but it's very difficult to tell when you watch that live. Another good delivery
Nice
from
little push
Sekukune.
out from Khomotsorapu, getting to the non-strikers end there.
Should be relieved to be reprieved of that. And that's also the team 50 here for the Coronations. After 7.4 overs, been at a good rate, 6.5. Slowed down subsequent to the wicket of Wolvott, but still going at a good pace.
Yes.
Great glove work from Trisha Chetty on that second to last delivery.
It's up in the air. What a hit from Isel Saliers. And it is taken on the ring by Annika Bosch there. And another wicket to the Thistles, who seemingly are living up to what their previous billing is at the WSL, being the team with the best bowling attack.
And yeah, we haven't even seen some of the leading wicket. Well, one of the other leading wicket takers from yesterday, Jade De Figueiredo, hasn't had a go yet. Just ball all the way down.
Yes, very good wicket there of Isel Saliers. Is that Homoto?
It's Saliers.
Is it Isel Saliers? Yes.
Yeah.
And she is out.
As we see the captain come to the crease, as Nadine de Klerk. She missed out on the first game with a small niggle of an injury, but she's managed to score 10 off 11 and take 2 wickets yesterday. She'll really want a good captain's innings. We know that she's capable of it. And yeah, her team looking like they're in a little bit of trouble at the moment. 3 down after
needing
7.5.
her a lot right now. Their title is hanging in the balance as the defending champions. One plays 4 from WSL, and seemingly the Thistles are fighting to push off that moniker of being the last team and win it in 2020. Fuller length ball.
Delivery.
LBW stifled the peel from behind the stumps there, but what a ball from Dumi. Yorker length, and Khumuturapu getting some bat onto it and no run there. Dot ball to end that over. That is 50 for 3.
Yeah, showing her class in her 2 overs. Tumise Kukune just bowling it on a handkerchief the same way Moseline Daniels was. And yeah, just 6 runs conceded off her 2 overs and managed to get that crucial wicket.
Moseline Daniels, and the other thing about what Moseline is giving the Thistles is as an able partner for Tumi on the other end.
Exactly.
They're bowling, keeping the pressure on her end, getting wickets that side, and Tumi also keeping it tight for her teammate there as well. Lovely drive from Nadine de Klerk straight to the fielder, who is at short extra cover.
Yeah, for a lot of teams, this would be a great opening bowling partnership. Moseline Daniels and Tumise Kukune, to have them be able to come on first and second changes, unbelievable privilege.
And to think about Kayakazi Mate not even making the 11 today. It's unbelievable the riches that Angelique Tai has managed to bring out today. Misfield there off of that drive that's enabled Nadine to come through for her single. So 2 balls bowled in that over, and it is 1 off of it. Just a little bit disappointing from I think from a Thistles perspective, who have fielded very well. 6 fielders on the offside, 3 on the leg.
And only 2 fielders outside the ring. Even though it's not a power play, you sense the pressure that they've been able to put on this Coronations batting lineup in the last couple of overs.
Confidence that this Thistles team has in their bowling attack is something to be admired, and the fielders as well are really stepping it up and supporting them. Great fielding of her own bowling by Moseline Daniels. You saw what she did with that catch, that wicket of Laura Wolfhard there, and preventing a single. Another dot ball going to the Thistles.
As we see that run rate just dip and dip with this tight bowling from Sekukune and Daniels, it's now below a run a ball.
Yes, I do think. And I think this is what Dumi is looking for, trying to go for the jugular, just open up this batting lineup. In the air, Shabnim for the catch at the mid-off, and she drops it.
Yeah, manages
Tough
to get her hand
there.
to it. She wasn't. Yeah, she was in the air. She took it. It's difficult. Didn't have the base below her, and it just pops out of her hands. A chance there, bit of a pressure relief.
I think the
really
moment a fielder goes up in the air, it's the probability of you taking that catch decreases.
Yeah, unless you're Courtney Garden, who had no base below at all yesterday and still managed to keep her hand
catch
on it. Daniels in again.
Down the leg side from Moseline, shot the stumps, and Komutarapu making it in. So 2 singles there. Very streaky ones, but they've made it through. End of that over,
So
53 for 2.
I think, yeah, you keep the pressure
three.
going here. We'll see. It looks like Sekukune is going to bowl a third on the trot the same way she did with Daniels. No need to relieve any of this pressure that they've built. Just keep those fast bowlers on. I think if a partnership starts to form, you can bring on Jade De Figueiredo and get the batsman swinging, maybe get a catch on the boundary. But for now, just keep those
And
consistent fast bowlers
as
on.
you speak, we have a new bowler, that is Jade De Figueiredo, getting herself
We'll
ready
see
to bowl.
the
left
field
arm
spread a bit
spin.
here. We saw Moselene Daniels just had the two fielders outside the ring. Now a lot of players outside the ring for Jade. They're expecting some aggressive batting and some catching on the boundary. We've got a
Currently,
deep square leg, deep mid wicket, long on,
there
long
are-
off, and a sweep on the offside.
The Thistles
Someone needs to come in.
The Thistles
yeah.
needs one fielder to come in.
And it
that
is the
fielder
sweeper.
is the sweeper on the offside, and so deep point comes in, backward point, extra cover, third man on in the ring, left fine leg in the ring, and mid wicket, deep square leg. and long
Loopy
arm.
stuff as always from De Figueiredo, as this is driven to the to long off, and there's just a single there.
Yes, she took 3 yesterday, so it'll be interesting to see how many wickets she'll take today. And you mustn't forget that the Thistles have Shabnim Ismail and Benetti ready to
With,
close
so
out their innings.
another 4 overs from there.
So very important in the context of this innings. Khomotso Rapu playing forward. There is a chance of a run out,
And
and it will be affected. Khomotso Rapu staying instead of running when Nadine de Klerk called her in, and it is a
symptom of the pressure, I think. A bit of confusion there.
a needless wicket at this point in time for the Coronations.
Very disappointing there from Rapu, who this is the only chance that she's been given in this series.
Yes, but she'll come back to bowl. She's a
Yeah.
very interesting spinner. One
Yeah.
I'm excited to see get an opportunity here at WSL 3. And this presents an opportunity for
It's the new batter at the crease is Vernice Reddy, the wicket keeper for the Coronations.
yes, Vernice already is in. Yes, great run out. Great run out there between Moselene Daniels and Jade De Figueiredo.
But-
Moselene realizing that she doesn't need to spear it in, just loop it
Yeah,
into
just make sure that
your
it gets
bowler.
to the bowler.
Jade De Figueiredo in to Nadine de Klerk in the air, bouncing just short of the field and short extra cover.
Tabete.
Oh, Nonkuleko Tabete. Oh, questioning whether she needed to dive forward.
It would have been a dangerous effort. Those ones you could dive forward, it bounces just short of your hands and you've lost a couple of teeth. Probably the right decision in the end. The pressure definitely on the Coronations.
Giving
one
it some
can sense.
flight there, Jade, and driven down the ground to Shabnim.
Almost confusion again there, as Nadine de Klerk happy to go off for the single immediately. Vernice already slightly hesitant.
This Thistles team can constrict a team, just suffocating them and suffocating the runs. Look at this, 5 fielders in the ring on the offside, 2 in the ring on the leg side. The only fielders out are the deep backward, the deep square leg, deep fine leg there, and this square leg on the boundary. Bowling to Reddy. She plays it out nicely for another dot.
Yeah, it must be tempting with the loopy bowling of De Figueiredo in that open straight area if one does go over the fielders on the ring, but one would sense that Reddy would like to steady herself first, as suddenly we do see long off and long on go out.
Giving the batsman another thing to worry about. Great bowling there. She speared it in to the right-handed Reddy, and she plays it out for a dot. End of that over, 2 gone with the run-out wicket of Khomotso Rapu, and you have the Coronations at 55 for 4 after 10 overs.
Yeah, one sense is that there's a lot rides on the innings of Nadine de Klerk here as the captain and a well-known established batsman.
And possibly the youngster Madison Landsman getting her opportunity to bat at WSL3. Musseline Daniels to resume, driven nicely by Nadine de Klerk. However, it goes straight to Shabnim Ismail at mid-off.
Landsman played in the first game, not in the second. She also didn't get to bat in the first, just bowled a couple of overs.
And took an over.
Yeah,
and
took
a
a wicket. Yeah, 2 overs, 1 wicket.
Great bowling from Musselina. Streaky run there, and that shot the stumps from Shabnim very close, but no cigar at that point in time. It did hit, the bail did get removed there from that throw from Shabnim, but Nadine had already made it in. Good early call by Nadine de Klerk.
Yeah, hopefully learned the lesson of good communication between the wickets after that tragic after the wicket.
That is a very true, Chris. Very, very true. Nice line there from Mussolini. A little bit of swing in the air and some shape into that right-hander. Mussolini with another Yorker there.
Forcing Ready to play at that one. She could afford to leave the previous one, not that one.
Yes. So far, 4 balls, 1 run. High quality fast bowling.
And good decision to let Daniels bowl out her 4 all in a row like this. We've seen a lot of stop and start spells. Not too many occasions where a bowler's been allowed to bowl all 4 in a row. There's another one that had to be played by Ready. Good full delivery from Musselin Daniels again. And no run. Looks like the captain's going to speak.
One of the
to her partner.
standout performers in this WSL Mussolini. She didn't take a lot of wickets, but the control with which she bowled is something that a selector cannot overlook. Especially when you're looking at this Pakistan tour. And her left arm option gives you something else.
Not a lot of competition in the left arm fast department.
That's slightly wider there. Very lucky for Mussolini to not get that called a wide. End of that over 1 taken. Mussolini Daniels has gone for
3 and over. 12 runs in total in her 4 overs.
With 1 wicket taken. So very, very good from Mussolini. Their great spell of bowling and great bowling over the 3 days. She can really be proud of her performance.
As we see De Figueiredo continue, she's got a long off, a long on, a deep mid wicket, and a deep square leg. Those are the catching options. Everyone else inside the ring.
Jade bowling to Nadine de Klerk.
Flighted one into the offside. That looks like it will run away for a boundary just past Tumise Kukuneo. Can't get there quite in time.
Yes, Jade De Figueiredo really giving it some a little bit too much air, and Nadine just coming down to the pitch of the ball and making sure that she turned that ball into a full toss and a hit to the boundary. Great ball from De Figueiredo, making Nadine think twice about coming down the wicket. She thought about it and then she had to play that off the back foot. Really great bowling. A little bit wider there, and Nadine pulling that, and they're coming through for a quick second, and they'll safe. Great
fielding under pressure from Monica Bosch.
Yes, that is.
Always racing to the boundary. She managed to get a body behind it very well.
Good hit from Nadine de Klerk. So 6 off the first 3 balls of this over. Now the shortish length there, back to mid-wicket. This one is only worth single there from Nadine.
Yeah, one sense is De Figueiredo's the bowler that they'll look to target, but that's also exactly the Thistles' plan, to have that one sort of release that'll see some more aggressive batting.
Yes, now Marceline Daniels is moving in from a fine leg to mid-wicket on the square. Veronica already stuck in her crease, only be able to play that square, and that's another dot ball. Lots of flight there. Vernis already choosing not to try and hit that hard, and just playing it out for another dot ball. End of that over 7 coming off of that De Figueiredo over. It's 63 for 4.
Yeah, the run rate has definitely slowed down since the dismissal of Volbart, sitting at just above 5 at the moment.
Yes, we were expecting another high-scoring game, but the Coronations, the Thistles have managed to just restrict the Coronations quite expertly here. As we see another bowling change, Marceline Daniels has finished her allotment of 4, and you've got Banetti. Nombulum is the Calvin Grove end.
Yeah, leading wicket take in the competition, Nombulumko Banetti.
7 wickets. Got the wicket of Tasman Brits early on. Fielders for Nobulumko, one third man on the boundary. You've got a point on the boundary, and deep square leg and deep mid wicket on the boundary.
So this one's played straight back on the ground. The umpire, Cherise Stain, does some good fielding as it rebounds to Shabnam Ismail at mid-off.
It's not like soccer where you'll have to play stops and you replay it. That one is still a dot ball, thanks to the umpire.
Yeah, Nadine de Klerk may think the umpire has something against her there, but it does happen.
And we have Shabnam Ismail going to the boundary, third man coming in, so we've got a long off now. And driven a straight, can't get past the fielder on the square there, that extra cover fielder, no run. Anna Kabosh doing a great job. Lots of talking here from the Thistles team, encouraging each other.
Oh, good take there from Trisha Chetty as well. Up to the stumps. Fast bowling of Banetti.
A little bit of bounce, a little bit of extra bounce there. Banetti is extracting from the surface. They've played on the surface. I think they've played over 130 overs on the surface.
172 now.
Yeah, 172. Yes, Chris. Down the leg side, that will be called a wide, a stumping chance from Trisha Chetty, but Banetti will have to bowl that again.
Almost 200, over 200 overs, in fact. Got there in the end. Oh no, anyway.
5 matches, 40 overs, that's 200,
yeah.
Plus the 10 here, so it's 212.
Yeah.
You will forgive us. It is the end of the year.
And a
quick
million
singles being taken at 2. The communication between Reddy and de Klerk, not the greatest. Veronica already turning blind there and not being able to see that nobody was backing up. And also that Trisha Chetty, who was the wicketkeeper, was chasing that ball. So a missed opportunity there for an extra run. Great ball from Banetti. Veronica already struggling to get off the mark in this innings. She's already faced 9 balls and she's still on 0.
Yeah, still happy enough to leave a lot of these deliveries alone though.
She actually probably could have played at that fine. Third man in the ring is a lot wider. Banetti again, this one tailing into the right-hander and resulting in a dot ball. End of that over. It is a 2 coming off of that over, including the extra, which is the wide. And it is the end of the 13th with James about to join me. 65 for 4 are the Coronations in this final match of WSL 3. Can Nadine de Klerk lead this team to a score that they can bowl to? That is the big question for this the final 7 overs, as Jade de Figueiredo comes in to complete her 4 overs.
And that one she will not be that happy with. She'll have to bowl that one again, as we have Marjorie van Staden widening her arms to show the wide ball. You're right, poor Nadine de Klerk is going to have to do something spectacular here. She tries, but that's not going to get her more than a single down to Courtney Gownan here.
The big boundary. Issue about this partnership is that Veronica already can't get some sort of runs or get off the square. She's really struggled so far against the bowling of the Thistles.
So she may well, from a frustration
no runs
point of view,
balls.
she's going to have to do something, isn't she? So expect something to happen here, and they're tightening the noose on her, the Thistles here. There's 5 in a ring on the offside. Now 2 fielders forward of square on the leg side.
And mid-wicket is becoming a lot sillier
shorter,
as we keep as the ball keeps going.
That's nicely tucked around
Finally,
the corner.
she comes or gets off the mark.
So that took 11, 12 balls for her to get off the mark, and she'll feel happier that she has got that run. She just needs to keep rotating the strike. Give that to Nadine de Klerk, who has to take the Coronations here to a total well over 100.
Because the longer Nadine stays at the non-striker's end, the pressure builds, and she would need to find a release shot in the form of a boundary or some sort.
And that's what she does now, and that's just chipped over the bowler. Really, it was that's
beautiful
like a
chip,
pitching wedge almost. That one
getting it on the green.
Yeah, I think so. But, she's a long way from the pin, though. Unfortunately, they've still got a long way to go, the Coronations, if they're going to defend their crown.
Yes, that is true. It's do or die right now for the Coronations.
Oh.
Just in time, getting the bat down and pushing that one away by Veronica Reddy.
So, Paul, you're right. Exactly what you're talking about is the pressure building. Veronica now feeling that pressure, needing to try and get that ball through the gap in the offside. And she does it again. She just cannot pierce.
It's very dangerous to play
the
left arm spinner on the back foot there. But it seems to work for her now.
Until she misses it. That is a possibility.
Jade would feel like she's in last ball of Jade's allotted 4 is a dot. Last over only going for 4 runs.
3 overs she's bowled.
Three overs for Jade de Figueiredo. Okay, it is a 3. I don't know why I'm wanting to get her off.
She looks like a really good prospect, though, Paul. I mean, the bowling that she's done yesterday and today has been pretty impressive. And on a wearing pitch, or a pitch that does offer some kind of turn, she's able to get the elevation, even though the turn may be slow. It is she's making the batters think. Out there.
Yeah, and then she did well yesterday at getting the 3 wickets as well and opening up this innings.
And you sort of sense that in this level of cricket, say provincial level, she's going to be quite successful with getting that ball above the eye line. Batters not able to sort of pick whether they're going to have the dip and the bounce. Vanetti, it is to finish her spell.
Full toss, hit down to cow corner for 4.
My goodness.
The fielder there had no chance. No. And it is not the best way Vanetti would have wanted to start this over. But Nadine finally gets an early boundary to put the pressure back onto the fielding side.
Yeah, that's a very important boundary off the first ball of the over. Always nice to get that boundary off the first ball of the over. Sets you up for a good over, one feels, as a batting team.
It's too wide, and it will just be called a wide. That was, it looks like it just came out incorrectly out of Vanetti's hand there.
She's that first ball would have upset her, that she went for 4. And that one again going just wide.
Kind of
Trisha
feel
Chetty
that they're
did some good
trying
work
to,
there.
Yes, you feel that Banetti's trying to bowl it as wide as possible to force Nadine to play it out down the offside. This one's chipped up in the air on the leg side, and it will be a single. No, Annika Bosch was roaming around there in that mid-wicket region, but it bounced kindly for Nadine.
I mean, with there nobody in close, you say Annika Bosch there at a mid-on, more wideish mid-on position. That deep mid-wicket, Moseline Daniels, and deep on the backward square boundary is Shabnim Ismail. No danger of chipping it up in the air. And that's better from Reddy, much better.
Not the best of balls from Banetti, tailing into the right-hander's pads there, and it's an easy release shot for Reddy.
There we go. It's 5 on the off, 4 on the leg. And Mambalunko Banetti in again from the Kelvin Grove end. Oh, yeah,
wide and straight.
Probably
to
left that.
me. She probably should have, but it's a dot ball to the Thistles.
Indeed, and they're keeping the pressure on the offside with the short third man, backward point, cover on the boundary, shortish extra cover, more conventional shortish extra cover, and a long off. And that is down the leg side. Again, it's and umpire Cherie Stain signals the wide to add another one to the score, 77 for 4. And 2 balls left in the.
It looked like it was a leg cutter.
Yeah, it did, didn't it? Certainly had a bit of shape on it, going down the leg side. She's trying really hard against a good batter. On that one, unlucky not able to get her
she did well
down
to
that,
just try to get a
she?
boot on it to slow it down, and a single taken to
How was that catch from Moseline Daniels earlier on to dismiss Laura Volfart? I mean, here I thought I was moving out of the commentary. I'd come back with Laura on 100, and you took a wicket with your first ball.
Sorry, James. I really do apologise, my friend.
Yeah, and once again another release ball to Reddy. That's not what you want when you've got a batter struggling down there. But Banetti finishes her spell, and she will, unless Ayabonga Kaka takes 4 or 5 wickets in the innings. She may well end up being the
leading
top bowler,
wicket
wicket taker for the tournament, which is an outstanding achievement.
Yes, she has been the standout performer from a bowling perspective at this WSL. One of the key reasons the Thistles find themselves in this position with, you could say, one hand on the trophy.
Well, they do indeed, and they're going to be dethroning the Coronations here.
Won't be a coronation.
It will not be a coronation, indeed.
And Jade de Figueiredo to resume her last over.
And that's actually there, well played by Reddy. Good backing up there by Alexandra Candler in the covers, as it is a single. Veronisa Reddy now, she's rotating the strike, which is exactly what she wasn't able to do in the beginning of her innings.
Yes, a slow start from her, 4 from 17.
And does Nadine go big off Jade's last over?
Back at the bowler, just over the bowler's head. And great fielding from Courtney Gowden, looking for the second, and they will receive it.
They get it easily there. Good fielding from Courtney Gowden. They've entrusted her with this position in the deep at long off, which I think is a real vote of confidence in her fielding. Yesterday took a very good catch in at point.
You get promoted by getting sent back to the boundary.
Absolutely. That sounds strange, doesn't it?
Nice little single there taken down the leg side from Nadine de Klerk. Yeah, it's the most interesting thing in a T20 cricket. You get promoted for great fielding by being sent to the boundary. In a longer format of the game, you get brought in closer to the back.
You do indeed. You get banished to the boundary. Yeah, it's a good shot.
Dot ball there
anything,
from Figueiredo.
You almost felt that was the one, that was the ball that she could have actually gone for a little bit more forcefully.
And Courtney Gowden's been brought in
to mid-off.
Will
she go over the top? Let's see. She tries
It's chipped
to-
up.
Oh.
Oh, bounces just in front of Mussolini Daniels.
My goodness. She was, I mean, to give Veronisa Reddy credit, she was trying to do exactly that. Come down the wicket, try and get it over the field, and here they're actually happy to give her the single, to give her the strike for the next over.
I love
Both
how-
long off, long on, gone back.
Yes, these field changes are very good from Dumi.
They are, yes.
Pulled square to the fielder at a fine leg. That is
Yes.
Elise Marie Marks.
And, yeah, and they've given her the single, and may well have been the tactic that Tumi Sekakuni, the captain, would be happy with, to make sure that Veronisa Reddy stayed on strike.
Last over for De Figueiredo. It goes for 5. She's bowled her 4 overs for 18.
And we are into the last 4 overs, and those will undoubtedly be bowled by Shabnim Ismail and Tumi Sekakune. And it is going to be Shabnim Ismail who's going to be bowling, as she has been the entire tournament, from the Kelvin Grove end here, running into the wind at Newlands. What wind there is,
It's
and
been
it is quite a strong
slightly
one.
easier for
Yeah.
Veronisa Reddy.
It has.
Now, just to crank it up.
It won't be now. But having said that, she could nurdle it around the corner.
She
There's
could.
a fine leg and a third man on the boundary, which is no surprise.
It's
for
like they're
Shabnim
bowling in a
Ismail.
power play.
It is exactly like they're bowling in a power play. I wonder why
Forcing
that is.
themselves to have
There you
a
go.
very attacking field
And that's,
are the Thistles.
So 6-3 field yet again for Shabnim Ismail. So there's no surprise as to where that ball is going to be bowled, and it is a ring field in the covers once again. A backward point, a cover point, cover, extra cover, mid off, mid on, mid wicket, and
Shabi
long
with an opportunity to
finally.
tie her teammate with these next 11
Right.
balls in terms of the wickets. She's got 4 this tournament. Oh, that's too good. That is
Goodness.
just too good. Missing everything there.
Did indeed. And no real discernible footwork from Veronisa Reddy. I mean, I'm sure that a lot of batters would be trying to just get out of the way of that one. With the express speed from Shabnim Ismail,
Yeah, you have to
you
try
have
and
to
get
get
behind it.
into line and just at least give yourself some chance.
There we go.
That's
Much
much
better
better,
played
much
out
better.
to extra cover.
And what's really great about this tournament is giving players like Veronisa Reddy the opportunity to face, probably one of, as we said yesterday, probably one of the world's best fast bowlers in Shabnim Ismail. I'm sure she wouldn't have faced Shabnim too many times, even though I think they play for the same team.
Yes,
But Shabnim, for many years, playing for the Central Gauteng.
Yes, I think last season was her first season.
And this
at
is going to be
KZN.
out. And it is. Sacrificing her wicket there, Veronisa Reddy called through for the single by her captain, Nadine de Klerk, and a simple pickup at mid-wicket and into Shabnim Ismail, and an easy run out. Sees the end of Veronisa Reddy for 5. 5 off 24 balls.
Yes, the young wicketkeeper having a nice time. Well, I don't say a nice time, but a nice time out in the middle just to get a couple of balls. She did face 23 and faced some very good bowling from the Thistles.
No price at all there for her as she took that. So it was very difficult. Tabete,
Nonkululeko
Tabete
with the fielding
affecting
there.
the run out there from her position on the square. And not a difficult run out for her, it must be said. But she did keep her head. And it's sometimes in those positions where you're very excited, you tend to throw the ball in very fast. She
Keep
didn't.
her head when everyone around you is losing theirs.
Absolutely. And so the field does get spread now for Nadine de Klerk.
It's Madison Landsman coming in as the new bat, number 15.
So she only has 3 overs and 2 balls to show us what she can do.
Yes.
Which
We've
is
been
unfortunate
eagerly
for her. We have been
anticipating.
waiting for her to come out to bat in the tournament, and let's see what the youngster can do. But she won't be facing.
No, she won't. Her captain will be. down the leg side, wide called by the umpire.
And she does. She wants the run,
wants
which
to
I don't blame her. I mean, I'd also want to get on to strike.
For an opportunity to face one of the fastest bowlers you will have ever faced.
Absolutely. And that shows confidence. You know, I want to get on strike. Her captain not quite so sure, and Nadine de Klerk batting probably a foot outside the popping crease here.
Back to the bowler bump ball there. Everyone thought that it's possibly an opportunity, but in the end, Shabnim did drop it.
Yes, as she did earlier on. She dropped that one catch on the edge of the circle, which was a little bit surprised by that. She's a very, very good fielder. I mean, I've seen her take some outstanding catches. That one, a difficult one though, up in the air, jumping to her right. And Nadine de Klerk just cannot get the ball anywhere but down the pitch.
Of a bowler who just walks away with a wicket and a run in the last over.
Yeah, just the one run, and the run rate now only at 5 and over, whereas in the early stages of this innings they were batting at 8 or 9 and over. It was an incredible start by the Coronations, but once Laura Wolfart lost her wicket, brilliantly caught by Moseley Daniels
and to
on
a
her
certain
follow
extent,
through.
You understand the coaches are trying to give everybody options, but the dropping of Kirsty Thompson really weakened that batting order.
It did.
They had a really strong top three.
So maybe there are other, one doesn't know the circumstances behind that. Kirsty Thompson not playing today, one of the top run scorers in the tournament so far, and her partnerships with Laura Wolfart have been instrumental in fact, giving Coronations an opportunity to be
91 runs in
to
the
win
first two innings. Dumisi Kukune in to Nadine de Klerk to Madison Landsman, who there's a single being taken and a shot at the stumps.
She does get there, and if that had been a direct hit, she would not have got there. Unfortunately,
Courtney Gowden falling over in her moment, in her gather, and thus losing the balance, and the power in that throw not there, and the accuracy as well.
And there'll be Madison Landsman's going to have a couple of roasties on those elbows. Definitely, she's looking at them, but she'll take home those war wounds any day, I'm sure. That's a great shot from Nadine de Klerk.
Straight and full. Well done, Nadine de Klerk. Great shot.
It really was a great shot. It was half volley on middle and leg, and she made no mistake pummeling it down the ground, and that's exactly what they need.
Score now 90 for 1.
For 5?
Oh, for 5, sorry. No, not 1. 90 for 5.
When I left the first time, I think it was for 1.
Yes.
It's Sikakune in again. That's in the air for a while.
Good stop. Looking for the run. Non-striker seemingly coming up the pitch, but she makes it home.
Madison Landsman certainly feeling there was a single there, and I would agree with her. There was a single, but Nadine de Klerk not wanting to take it at this stage, and not wanting to expose the youngster necessarily to this fine Proteas bowler that's coming in from the Weinberg end.
In the air, Courtney, it's Shabnim Ismail underneath it, but it bounces just in front of her, and it will just be a single.
Just a single. So, Paul, your favourite captain of the tournament, now bowling at the moment, one of your favourite players, Jimmy Sekakune. She really has had an outstanding tournament, both as a captain and as a player from a bowling point of view.
Yes, and it felt like this team had a leadership group with Trisha Chetty and Shabnim Ismail, who have really helped bring this team that came last in the previous WSL, to excel in these past 3 days. The question, though, is the batting of the Thistles. 2 early wickets. You could find yourself in a situation where the Coronations find themselves in, and Bonga Kaka is going to be raring to go.
She will indeed. That's really well hit by Nadine de Klerk, but I don't think it's going to pierce the round. Good fielding there by Annika Bosch. Pretty impressed, in fact, with that shots off the previous delivery from Madison Landsman, just easing it into the leg side. She looked very comfortable, just playing that one on middle and leg.
Yes.
So
8 off that over
interesting.
from Tumi, and it will be 93 for 5.
And both batters at the moment have got a 100% strike rate, 30 off 30 for Nadine de Klerk, 2 off 2 for Madison Landsman, and it will be de Klerk who will be facing. She's exactly what she would have wanted, and Shabnam Ismail with her final over of
Good
the
rotation
tournament.
of the strike.
Yeah, they have been rotating the strike. Madison Landsman just making it home with that Courtney Gounden throw, and not missing the stumps by very much, it must be said.
Shabnam to resume the final over.
Oh, she bowled it. She bowled it.
Shabnam Ismail, top of off.
Yeah, I think that's a bit of an inside edge it looked like from Nadine de Klerk. We'll have a look at that again just to see. But Nadine, unfortunately, going back to the dugout as we just will see her 30 off 31 balls.
Extremely
and
quick.
she missed it completely. And you miss, I hit.
It's
Says
playing
Shabnam Ismail.
across the line there,
Yeah.
not playing straight down to it,
Yeah,
and
that
easy pickings for such
Yeah.
a class fast bowler.
Oblique bat, as you said, and Paul not able to really connect with it, and it will now be fellow Proteas player and bowler Ayabonga Kaka coming in, and that's a
Bit of an
really
inside
good
edge
delivery.
onto the stumps there,
Was
an
it inside
under
edge? Was
edge.
it? I was wondering whether it looked a bit like an inside edge in real time. Looking at it again, it looks as if it just missed everything. So difficult to say.
Looks like it missed everything.
it's,
Busy going through those replays. Yeah.
What we do know is that Shabnam Ismail won't really mind whether she got an inside edge or not. It's another stick for her, and
It's her
to go
fifth
to those
one
many.
in
Yeah.
the WSL. She's got 4 balls to try and equal.
Yeah, she has. She get 2 more wickets in these 2 than these
5
4
balls
balls,
to
and she
equal. 5 balls to
can
equal.
equal her teammate Nombulunko
Zintle
Vanetti.
Kula, the new batter, facing Shabnim.
Oh, there it is, Zintle. Sorry.
On the money is Shabnim, but this one
Well
is
played.
played out to the leg side for a single.
She has a very similar build to Ayabonga Kaka. I got her mixed up in the first match as well when she came into bat, Zintle. But that one she played very nicely, and now it will be Madison Landsman will have her chance to face Shabnam
Nice.
Ismail. Yeah, this could be interesting. Haven't seen Shabby bowl a bouncer this spell.
Yes.
You think she'll bowl one to the youngster?
Would be
No,
slightly
probably
harsh, but
No.
edge
It-
and dropped
No.
there.
Was it?
But it bounced in
I
front of
think it
Trisha
bounced in front
Chetty,
of
yes.
Trisha Chetty. In
But
fact, she did well to get a glove on that actually. To
Madison
stop it.
did well to hit that ball.
Yeah, she did. She did do
A
well
very
to hit the ball.
aggressive shot there
Was.
from Madison. She's replaying that cover drive.
Yeah, and but that shows really good intent. Yeah, she hit it straight into the ground, probably from the under edge. She was almost too early on the shot. That's saying quite something for facing Shabnam Ismail. Oh my goodness!
Too quick. Just
Yeah,
too quick.
for Zintle Kula and the makers of any kind of wood varnish product. If they made it slightly thicker on that stump, it would have certainly knocked the bail off. Very close to that off stump. And, still, this ring field on the offside for Shabnam Ismail. She has been incredibly economical, as one would expect from her. Oh. Incredibly hard for a batter like Zintle Kula to come in now, facing a bowler in her prime really. Such a canny bowler as well, Shabnam Ismail. And again, how
So
she
close
missed
to
those
that drop
stumps,
of
we just don't know.
That's
that
a
one,
full toss. Could possibly be a no ball. And a single
They're looking
has
at it, but
been
they're
taken.
not. They're not.
No.
No, it was on about waist height. Got away with that one.
Yes,
And,
3 runs and a wicket for that last over from Shabnam Ismail. And she finishes the figures of 1 for 17.
And it will then be the captain, Tumise Kakune, She only used 5 bowlers. She did have Annika Bosch. I think Elise Marie Marks also bowls, but she hasn't used either of those two, sticking with the 5 key bowlers, and why not? And they've performed exceptionally well in this tournament so far. The main bowlers, herself, Ishmael, and Daniels being the destroyers of the Starlights in the first match, and we'll get to it now. That's well played by Kula. Going to give the strike now to Madison Landsman.
Great fielding from
really good fielding
there.
Yeah.
Great one-handed pickup.
And in the second match yesterday was the turn of Bernetti and De Figueiredo to skittle the Coronations skittle the Duchesses in their chase, which ended well short of the target set for them. So it's going to be interesting to see whether they can get past 100.
Swung out wide to the leg side. Madison Landsman getting another
single,
runner to her name.
So she's batting basically at a runner ball, and she's hit 4 singles, 4 balls. You can't really ask for more from the youngster at this stage. Coming in at the end, rotating the strike. That one almost seemed a slower ball from Toomey.
She looks very confident.
She does, doesn't
for
she?
this level of cricket.
Oh my goodness. Trisha Chetty trying what looked like it was going to be a stumping, missed the ball completely. And that will bring up the 100. In fact, it was an edge. 4 runs given by Marjorie van Staden. So that was...
And that brings up the 100.
Catch. It does indeed. And that 102 for 6 now in the 20th over. So 102 of 123 balls. 13 fours, most of those coming at the beginning of the innings. I mean, Laura Wolfart hitting 6 of those. Only 1 single in her 25. And really it was an electric start from the Coronations.
That's what she'll always give you. Stumping chance given and it's out.
There we go. So that is great work from Trisha Chetty, missing out on the previous one, the catch going down to the boundary. This time not missing out on the stumping. Some quick work with her standing up. Certainly Trisha Chetty has been the most outstanding wicketkeeper in this tournament, no doubt about that. And looking to cement her place for with the Proteas, and a good decision from umpire Cherie Steyn there at the Kelvin Grove end. No doubt that Zintle Kula did not have a foot behind the line.
Dumisi Kukune getting her 2nd wicket. That brings in...
It brings in Jane Winster on Southwestern Districts, and we will definitely see her bowling in the Coronations bowling lineup later. She's a left-handed batter.
102 for 7.
So this is going to be a very similar sort of score, in fact, to what the Thistles themselves scored in the
first match
of
WSL, and they managed to restrict.
They did.
The Starlights to 89.
And yeah, at one stage having the Starlights 39 for 8. One just doesn't see that happening though with the bowling lineup the Coronations have, not as strong. Oh, she's bowled her first ball.
And a wicket for Dumisi Kukune, getting that off stump from Winster. And Madison Landsman saying goodbye to another partner.
She is indeed. I'm sure she's wishing that she was at that end, actually facing the bowling rather than watching the carnage from the other end.
Very frustrating. Dumisi Kukune on a hat-trick right now. She took 3 wickets she took... How many wickets has she taken
so far? So she's also coming very close to potentially being one of the top wicket takers in the tournament. We'll have to have a look at that and let you know. Probably end at the start.
Toomey in the first
innings,
match took 2 wickets,
and none in the second.
And now she's taken a 3 with 1 ball to go, so she could tie. Well, go to
she's
number
not going to
2.
tie. She'll go to number 2 with Masabata class, wouldn't she? With
and
6 wickets.
Is
Ayabonga
Kaka.
Yeah. So it's going to be Protea's fast bowler to Protea's fast bowler. She didn't even take guard, Ayabonga. She just goes and stands there. In front of the wickets, and she just hits the whacks it over to Shabnam Ismail
to end the innings with a single.
And Madison Landsman has just decided to run herself out, which is fine. It doesn't really count for much. Hoping that Ayabonga Kaka would turn and run, which she didn't do. 103.49. Yes, 103.49 with that to run out off the last ball. Ayabonga Kaka not leaving her crease at the non-striker's end.
And it's a team hat-trick for
It is a team hat-trick, yeah. 3 wickets off the last 3 balls of the innings, and a score that certainly the Coronations will not be happy with. Yes, Landsman run out, yeah. So Landsman just coming back for the run, and her partner not wanting to have anything to do with it.
And to go undefeated in a WSL, the Thistles will need 103 runs in their allotted 120 balls. It's going to be an interesting run chase, with the Coronations not wanting to let go of their crown that easily. There will be a net run rate requirement that will come into play should the Thistles not make it in. However, they have set themselves up for a nice one to go undefeated.
Indeed they have, and it will be interesting to see if the Coronations can get their bowling line to restrict this Thistles team to less than, I think probably about 80 runs according to our calculations, but we'll let you know when we come back.
Yes, we will. first leg of the WSL. So,
Okay. We on?
And we're back for the final innings of the final match of the final day of this the WSL 3.0.
And it's going to be Nonkululeko Lava who's going to be bowling from the Wynberg end, and the first delivery is to the left-handed Courtney Gowden, who is opening with her fellow KZN Coastal teammate Trisha Chetty, and a good opportunity for Courtney Gowden. That one, I think, just missing it outside the off stump, and that's a good run there, called through by her senior partner, and they take the single to get the chase of 103 that they need to win underway. And Chris looks like a reasonably easy target.
You never want to say that too early. We've seen low targets defended.
We have indeed, and this same team that is needing to score 103 to win defended 100 on the opening
we
day.
also haven't seen any team winning in a chase, so
That's true.
A couple of challenges up against the Thistles still, even if it is a reasonably low target. Interesting change bringing in Garden. It must be to give her an opportunity, because the opening partnership did work in the last game. Tabeta and Trisha Chetty both did very well to open, both of them getting 40s.
They did indeed, and that's propelled the Thistles to that imposing total of 148, which proved way too much for the Duchesses to be able to chase, as Trisha Chetty gets off the mark, and score moves to 2 in the first over. And Mlava has been reasonably impressive in the tournament so far. The slow left armour, that sort of half an appeal really. That one straying down the leg side and quite high. Marjorie van Staden is not going to give that to anybody.
Yeah, Mlava still wicketless in the competition. She'll be looking to change that. She was the second highest wicket taker in last year's edition of the competition.
Oh, and that one just sliding across the left-hander. It's a good opening over. 2 without loss are the Thistles, and 1 apiece for both batters at the moment. So they'll be looking to try and keep the run rate down in their opening overs and put a bit of pressure on the team.
And the team that they're going up against, the Coronations, had a rapid start in the power play, and then that seemed to dissipate rather quickly after the dismissal of Wolfhard. So power play isn't everything. It counts a lot for momentum, but not everything.
It does indeed, and that catch of Moselene Daniels off Laura Wolfhard, how important has that may that prove to be in this tournament?
I expected to see Ayabon Kakaka open bowling from the other end. Instead, we see Madison Landsman, the 16-year-old, getting an opportunity. She bowled 2 overs in the first game, and starts in the second. She's taken 1 wicket so far. Expects, good bit of leg spin here. Yeah,
this could be very interesting to see how Madison Landsman does perform on this stage, opening the bowling. And she certainly, I thought she batted pretty well. She rotated the strike very nicely, sacrificed a wicket off the last ball with the run out, but literally batted at a runner ball. Be good to see her in the future.
Very flighted delivery to open up, but good length. The Jade De Figueiredo.
Sine Luce does give that leg spinner a lot of air, who I think will be regarded as the premier leg spin bowler in South Africa at the moment. And Madison Landsman will, I'm sure, have been looking at Sine Luce and her action and how she bowls, and see how she can perhaps emulate what could be one of her heroes.
Oh.
What we don't know is whether she's got the wrong one or not, Chris.
We'll keep an eye out. So, more looking like it's out the side of the hand than the back of the hand.
Okay.
So far.
So developing art, spin bowling, leg spin bowling particularly, and at 16, very young to be a leg spin bowler.
Very flighted, all landing in very much the same area. It's a good way to test the resolve and the technique of the opening bat.
Definitely, that's what you want, is you want to be able to pitch that in the same sort of spot every time. And middle and leg at this stage seems to be where she's sort of pitching it, just on a length. And there is a fielder out in the deep, and that is Tasman Brits, who, as Paul was explaining earlier on in the tournament, has a javelin-like throw, because she did throw the javelin.
Yeah, formidable arm.
Yeah, it's bringing the field for the left-handed Courtney Gounden. Only one off the over so far from Madison Landsman is a ring field on the offside. Point cover, extra cover, mid-off. Oh, my goodness, that one just down. Oh, I think that's very harsh to be given as a wide, perhaps. But down the leg side to the left-hander, and the first extra on the board, and that one almost close to bowling Courtney Gounden around the legs. And just aborts as she comes in. So, yeah, that's a tight call for the leg spinner. Should with her stock delivery be turning it, if there is turning it into the left-hander, and that's a better delivery. And there's a big appeal, and she's given out.
Wicket for Landsman.
Oh, there we go. Landsman takes a wicket in her opening over for the Coronations, and Courtney Gounden.
Yeah, that experiment hasn't succeeded, but it means we do get to return to that familiar opening pair of Trisha Chetty and Tabete.
Courtney Gounden only getting the single one of 5 deliveries, and Madison Landsman getting her first wicket of this WSL.
The second wicket she managed to run in the first match as well, also caught behind.
There we go.
So she's done that twice.
And it is Annika Bosch who's going to be joining Trisha Chetty.
So Tabete again.
Probably coming at number 4 on fields, being one of the premier batters for this team.
Right.
And so Annika Bosch, who's 52 out of 100 in the first game, essentially saved the Thistles from what we believe would have been certainly would look like a defeat. They did bowl particularly well though in that match to end up taking it by 11 runs. So the first wicket in what may prove to be a very interesting game, should there be a couple more falling quickly for the Thistles. So we have now it's the right-handed Annika Bosch, so now two right-handers at the crease. Madison Landsman coming in from the Kelvin Grove end in what has been a successful first over.
In very flighted, tempting Annika Bosch, but experienced enough that she's able to play it to the mid-on region for a single.
That's well played, fielded there in the deep by Ayabonga Kaka, and that is the end of the over. Three off it, and the wicket of Courtney Gounden in that over. It'll be Nonkululeko Mlaba who will be bowling again from the Weinberg end, only conceding 2 in the first over, and Madison Landsman walking past her they give each other a fist bump as she goes past, and well she might. That successful first over, and it is for Trisha Chetty. We have got for Annika Bosch on strike. We've also got a ring field on the offside. We have that just is a slip in place. Yes, Nadine de Klerk, I think, is there at slip. Backward point, cover point, extra cover, mid-off, just moving the field around a bit. Madison Landsman here in front of us at long on. Ayabonga Kaka in at mid-wicket. There's a deep mid-wicket on the boundary, a square leg, and that is the field. It's a good piece of fielding there, as just trying to see who that is.
Komotso Rapu.
Komotso Rapu coming around from mid-off to field, but they do take the single. It was wide of Jane Winster at extra cover. Mlaba again. It's neatly played, and that's now got a deep square leg in place. That's Zintle Kula comes in and hurls that one in to wicket keeper Reddy, and take another single. Slowish start. 7 for 1, 2.2 overs.
Yeah, not a massive target ahead of them, so you can afford to be
circumspect, perhaps.
Exact.
But you gave me prerequisite earlier, I gave you circumspect this time. That's good. Here we go. That's a shorter delivery. Interesting, not much you could do with that. A little bit of faster turn, perhaps. You really fired that one in. Haven't seen too much of that. Lava does tend to bowl it without as much air as perhaps we saw from fellow number 10 in the Thistles team, Figueiredo, who also bowled from this side, but gave it a
as
lot
much
more
flight
air.
as one's able to give a delivery.
That's one straight to Laura Wolfart, who it is there at backward point, and not at this stage really able to pierce the field. So no boundaries as yet in this Thistles innings. Everything coming in singles.
Right, and just the one extra, that wide off the bowling of Landsman.
Oh, again, well bowled by Mlaba. And that's a very good over from the left arm spinner.
Some reserve batting, but some also great containing bowling so far.
It is indeed, and this match will determine who will end up top of the log for the first leg of the WSL here.
WSL.
So it's
at the moment Thistles the only team to have won 2 matches. They're sitting top of the log. Coronations could usurp them if they win by about 25 runs here. Otherwise they can join them on 2 points, but be slightly behind on net run rate.
So it is a very important match for the Thistles to win going into the next leg of the tournament, and I'm sure there'll be more information about that as we progress through the season, a disrupted season, of course, due to the presence of COVID-19, and it's supposed to be starting. So we're going to give you some information from the 4-day franchise series here. The Warriors beating the Cobras by 80 runs in a match taking place in Port Elizabeth.
So we do see the change in the attack. Landsman takes the wicket and she's out of there. Ayabonga Kaka very quickly dispatched to the boundary of her first delivery. Already the most expensive over that we've seen so far from the most experienced bowler. Ayabonga Kaka, realistically, the only other person who has a chance right now to overtake Benetti on the wicket-taking table. She's sitting on 4 wickets, Benetti sitting on 7. It would take quite a performance here.
And that looked like a bit of a loosener from Ayabonga Kaka, really sitting up outside off stump. Trisha Chetty didn't miss out. Much better second delivery. So for Ayabonga Kaka to the right-handed Trisha Chetty, we have a third man, a backward point, cover point, extra cover, mid-off, mid-on, mid-wicket, a square leg on the boundary, and a short fine leg. It's Madison Landsman in there at short fine leg. Oh, that one perhaps
playing very much outside of it. I don't know if it seemed in. Trisha Chetty
I don't know.
Seemed to think it was wider than it was, and seems like a half chance there.
It certainly seemed to go under the bat. So kept a little bit low perhaps outside that off stump. This is the same pitch that we've been playing on for 3 days.
And again, this one taking the wickets a little bit more, really spiked off the pitch.
That really did. I mean, that took off.
Cannot blame Trisha Chetty for missing that. I think she's lucky not to get an edge on it.
That's right. And one feels if that had got an edge, it might have been quite difficult for Veronisa Reddy behind the stumps to have taken, but she took that well above her head. Maybe Ayabonga Kaka just giving that a bit of an extra rip that time. We know she possesses a really good slower ball as well. Not that was a slower ball. One really fairly raced through to her Proteas teammate.
Another good attacking delivery from Kaka.
So certainly the only false delivery in this over so far, the first delivery which was flashed through the covers for that 4. It was a good shot from Chetty. She's been struggling to get it, to get anything, to get runs with these remaining 4 deliveries. Last ball of the over coming up.
And slightly more aggressive. Ayabonga Kaka's line strays slightly onto the wickets. Whether that was an intentional or not, I don't know. Trisha Chetty just chips it over the onside
very interesting field, isn't it? Because the both the square leg and mid wicket on the boundary, the two fielders outside the ring in the power play, where
Normally for the
Yeah.
seamers, they've had the third man in the
That's
final
right.
leg. So maybe anticipating
Yeah, I think
some
so.
bowling down leg or maybe some shorter pitch bowling.
Attacking the stumps, certainly. And one or two bounces before Tasman Brits picked that up in the deep. There's a lot of consultation happening with Captain Nadine de Klerk as Tasman Brits makes the long run from mid-wicket in front of the railway stand to mid-wicket in front of the Oaks. Deep
Right.
mid-wicket.
And Mlaba being given a third over in a row.
I think that does make sense. I know she was very expensive yesterday in her third and fourth overs later in the innings, and it's probably good to get these overs done with early.
Right.
And she's looked to keep it really tight
And
yesterday.
she's got that rhythm going in the
She
first
has.
to want to capitalise on that.
Well, it's a bit shorter, but it's good running. And really not much that Isel Salias could do about that coming in from the edge of the circle. And that's been a feature of it. We haven't really seen too much running to the edge of the circle like that. But the fielders are very deep, aren't they,
Right.
at this stage? It will be it's Bosch on strike.
A bit of too much of a batty sound for that to be
I
a
think so.
genuine appeal.
As one certainly didn't sound like pad, did it?
Or
at
maybe,
all?
and even if it was strained down leg. So.
Yeah. And Lava again from the Weinberg end. Oh, that's going to be tight. Oh, direct hit, and Trisha Chetty was, for all intents and purposes, would have been on her way back to the
and a
pavilion.
collision
Now we've had a
between
collision. That is not good, and
couple
they've
of
hurt.
fielders.
That's hurt. The bowler has collided
Tasman
with her
Brits.
mid-wicket fielder.
Tasman Brits, I feel like
Yeah.
she should be okay, but she's lying on her back. It doesn't
be
look like a
okay.
painful position.
Maybe
It just looks
it's,
like an exasperated
Could
position.
have been winded perhaps, or hurt her arm. I know it looked like she ran to her arm, but no communication there, I think, from the two fielders. They've requesting medical assistance. Tasman Brits may, in fact, have to go off the field here. Not what one would want to see, a collision between two players. We're going to see if we can't get our producer here to have a look and see if we can't see the replay, if we did get a replay of that
looks
collision.
like they're looking at Tasman Brits' neck.
So
at the
she may
moment.
have just done a little damage to the neck there with the collision with Nkululeko Mlaba. We do have a delay here while this is being seen to, and we will relay what information we have when and if we do have information surrounding Tasman Brits' injury. It would be really sad for her if this was something that would take her off the field.
My first instinct was that she's fine, but then she very quickly lay down.
So the story was really Nadine de Klerk, the captain, coming in, and she hit the ball. Had it been a direct
there you
hit,
do see the
I see
collision.
what, yeah. Had it been a direct hit, that certainly would have meant the batter was out of her ground, and what happened was that no communication between Mlaba and Brits, and Mlaba actually running into the side, I think, of Tasman Brits' head.
Yeah.
Trying to avoid her, but then unfortunately hitting her. So we hope that Tasman Brits is going to be fine. It looks like she's being seen to by medical personnel on the field, and we'll let you know as soon as we know any more. One sense she is going to go off the field. There are a couple of replacements. We're not sure whether Kirsty Thompson is actually still here.
The options, Kirsty Thompson or Rasiba Ntozake are the two players from the Coronations who aren't on the field. I think Kirsty Thompson's there in a bib, so that could be the possible fielding replacement.
Well, yes, it does look like Kirsty Thompson is there, so hopefully we'll be able to get play underway shortly. And the story so far, Chris, in this innings, chasing 103 to win and to definitely top the log at the end of this WSL here down in the Cape. Thistles not having the greatest of starts.
Yeah, slowish, but that's been good bowling, and the understanding that it's a low total. You'd rather have wickets in hand at the end, I think, than there's no need to get off to a gun-blazing start.
And your view, I mean, it was interesting on a number of points there, with the opening batter being Courtney Gowden coming in to replace, or say in place of Tabete, Nkululeko Tabete, and she has unfortunately only got the one run before she was caught behind off Madison Landsman, and likewise for the Coronations, opening with the spin twins of Mlaba and Landsman.
And proved very effective.
So it is.
Tasman Brits looked like she was going to stay on the field for a moment.
Yeah,
and
she is still there. She's staying on the field.
Deep mid-wicket. Touching her shoulder and her neck every now and again. We'll keep an eye on that.
We will. So hopefully she's going to be absolutely fine, as it's Mlaba to continue.
That's all right.
Oh, well fielded
there.
Yes.
By Nadine de Klerk, the
Great
captain, standing
fielding.
up.
My goodness. So Zel Saliers coming from cover point, Nadine de Klerk coming across from extra cover, and that Nadine de Klerk taking that seems to have sort of hurt her knee or something. But really good fielding from the captain.
And she's been brilliant in the field so far. Yesterday she was equally energetic.
This one just it's going to be going down to deep square leg, where Zintle Kula picks up, and they take another single. So 5 off that over, 17 for 1 after 5, and it's been pedestrian at the moment, but one they don't need to get worried. 5.8 per over to score to win the match. One feels that is well within their grasp, and these two just getting settled.
And some reasonably strong batting to come. I mean, we've seen both of these batsmen have scored 40s and 50s respectively already, and we still have Tabete, the previous opener, to come in, who scored 40 yesterday as well.
And it's going to be from the Kelvin Grove end. It will be the captain, Nadine de Klerk, who is coming on with her right arm seamers, and she will be bowling to Trisha Chetty, who is on 10 of 16 deliveries. Field is also set very similar to the Ayabonga Kaka field, with a ring field on the offside and 2 fielders out deep on the boundary in front of square on the leg.
One wonders if that's a decision based on Trisha Chetty's batting more than anything else, as this is guided exactly there to the square leg fielder on the boundary. Zintle Kula whips it back in just a single.
Yeah, so that's, as you said, Chris, they've setting their field.
As we do see the square leg come in now for Annika Bosch, and third man goes out to the boundary.
It does make sense. This one will no doubt not be targeted in at the legs or at middle leg stump. And it isn't. So yes, definitely change of line, change of attack, and the Coronations have been doing their homework.
Right, yeah. Everyone's been watching. Trisha Chetty scored quite a lot of runs yesterday, a lot of them square of the wicket.
So Nadine de Klerk has a Hardy Dar at a very fine mid-off and one at a very fine mid-on.
We've seen the umpire do some fielding inadvertently. We'll see if the Hardy Dars do the same.
They take a single from the misfield by Khamotso Rapu, and unfortunate there for the Coronations, that should not have been a run. And so yes, the field changes again, as we have been mentioning, for Trisha Chetty. Some Lava coming into the shortish third man position.
Yeah, the bouncer makes sense.
Yeah, it does, and that just didn't get hold of that at all, did she, Trisha Chetty?
And probably for the best, yeah, because if she had got hold of it, there's always a chance that she holds out to one of those fielders on the onside. Yeah, very much. If you're going to attack that, you want it to be along the floor. And this again on the wickets, just glance down to the short fine leg, and no run there.
Yeah, Madison Landsman just knocking on, but there wasn't enough time for the batters to get through for a single. And at the next ball, it will be Paul, who's coming in to join me, and Chris will be back with you a bit later to watch the end of this game. As it's currently standing, doesn't look like they're going to get there within the next 7 overs, But anything's possible as Nonkululeko Umhlaba dives over the ball and allows it to then go down to the third man boundary for 4, which is only the second 4 of the innings so far, and takes the Thistles to 23 for 1 after 6 overs. And welcome, and Paul.
Thanks, James. It was a very good shot there.
Was a good shot. I think Nonkululeko will be very upset with herself that she wasn't able to get down to stop that.
These targets are very tricky because a couple of wickets, and as the batting, you can find yourself in limbo as to whether to attack or to just defend, and because it's easy for you to just say, okay, no, you just need to walk it home, and try to find as many singles. Is 84 to 81 to win off 84 balls, but.
It could quite, and if you do lose a couple of wickets, as you're saying, it could quite easily get out of whack for you. You could end up getting it more than a run a ball, giving you a very difficult opportunity to get those runs. As we are at the end of the power play, into the second period.
Lefties are final over.
Oh yes! What a great catch! My word, that is a screamer. Wow.
What a ball from lefty. Just gave it a bit of flight, invited the drive straight back at her, and a diving stop to her left. Really, really great fielding off her own bowling.
Incredible fielding. Now we know why she let this one through. It was so she could have Annika Bosch playing that one back to her for the next ball. Great fielding. So, just as Paul is describing, and now we've got a jig going on in the field. It is so good to see the incredible catch and holding on to it. A good lesson there for any youngster watching this, that she held on to that one. You see how she transferred the ball from both hands, actually as almost instinctively, into that stronger left hand of hers, so she could hold on to it when those elbows hit the ground. Really great technique.
Unbelievable piece of fielding. She's been bowling so well so far. 1 ball into a 4th over and only going for 9 and taking that wicket of Annika Bosch.
So as you were saying, Paul, this now actually just adds a little bit of intrigue into the situation. As we look at that catch again, you see it there. You're watching on the live stream. That is a really outstanding catch, and we've seen, I think that's probably the 3rd brilliant catch that we've seen.
Third caught and bowled of the of this WSL.
And the Tumiseka Cunha one diving forward, we saw that one today in this match, in fact, from Marceline Daniels, one-handed to her left, again her stronger hand, and now Umhlaba here. Brilliant catch.
Yes, Nadine very happy with the work that Umhlaba has put in. It will be the end of her over, and there'll be a lot more overs to bowl. She's only used 4 bowlers so far, so the question around who the 5th bowler is, it will be very important in this game, as I would assume the Thistles would want to attack that bowler and try and not make this as tight as it is right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And Zintle Kula or Jane Winster, one feels they both the options for her to come in.
That's too short from Laba, but she gets away with that
one.
She
does, she did. Didn't actually get up at all. It almost went subterranean once it hit the ground. I think Tabete surprised by that, but it was. Maybe she was just too excited after the first, for that previous delivery.
It's really improved her bowling.
She has, and she's so much more consistent. And that one is whipped away, but Zintle Kula doing well there actually to stop the boundary.
3 runs saved.
Yeah, definitely. And looked at one stage, she may have slightly misjudged it, but she did well in the end to get around. So fielders are helping their bowlers here to keep it tight. And Trisha Chetty, one senses, is the big wicket here.
Yes, that's the one that the Coronations want, just to essentially open up this Thistles batting order.
That's just played out to Isel Salia in the covers, and Umhlaba keeping it really tight. One feels yesterday that this is probably what Nadine de Klerk should have done, is bowl her through after she bowled her first 2 for 8, having then been carted all over the park towards the end of the innings. Oh,
really good bowling from lefty there. One more ball remaining, 1 for 10.
Wow.
Great figures.
Absolutely incredible. I think it's ties virtually for the most economical spell in the competition so far. It's again, good bowling.
Single picked up from the end of that 7th over, and lefty's spell. Handshakes and high fives all around from her teammates. 4 overs, 1 for 11.
And well deserved, and virtually the entire team coming to congratulate.
She can go take her banishment in the outfield.
She can.
In peace now.
Most definitely, and she's been patrolling the area in front of us, whether that's down at third man or at this shortish third man, for most of the match so far, having been bowling from this the wine.
25 for 2 after 7. Thistles stuttering along to this score, in this chase.
Now more than a run a ball to win the match, as we see Madison Landsman coming back from the Kelvin Grove end.
Oh! Swing and a miss ball, turning away from that off stump.
My goodness. I think
the death of the nightmare of a leg spinner. You get a swing and a miss, and you know the ball's just going to keep going past that off stump.
But she gave it a lot of flights, and obviously I think got Trisha Chetty in the flight there.
Straight to Jane Winster there.
Yeah, well
2
fielded.
dot balls in this over, creating the pressure is Madison Landsman.
How impressed are you with this youngster, Paul?
Very much so. I love how she controls it. It's really hard. It's a hard art, leg spin, and she's controlling it really nicely.
And that one again, a really, really good delivery. And what's noticeable though is the batter not coming out to the ball. She's sort of waiting on it to pitch. That is not necessarily a great tactic against the leg spinner.
Yes, and to some extent we saw that with the Proteas in India last year, them playing back to spinners rather than forward. That was nearly through the gate.
Yeah.
And Trisha Chetty, last minute saloon, just pushing it out.
Yeah.
And playing it out to the offside.
So 4 dot balls to Trisha Chetty in this over, and she will be, I'm sure, feeling a little bit anxious at the moment. Oh, that's up in the air, but it's
safe, and they'll take the single there. It is Bonga Kaka at it is Khumutsarapu there.
Yes.
At mid wicket. It was at
mid off was coming around. Yes, that one up in the air, almost straight over the bowler's head.
Mistimed shot.
Yeah, and
as well. Great bowling from Landsman.
Has been 1 off the over so far, and Tibete to face Landsman. Maybe the first time that she may have faced her, in fact.
Straight is uphill, and it is given out. Madison has her second wicket. LBW to Nonkulego Tabete, and the Coronations are in business.
They are in the hunt, aren't they? Here, most
26 for 3.
Cherie Stain, umpire at the Kelvin Grove end, thought about that for a while, and then the dreaded finger went up. And we'll have another look at that now. That's a good decision. Yeah, that's a good decision.
Didn't turn as much.
Hardly turned at all, and that's going to go on to hit middle and off. Do you think?
Yes,
Paul?
that was the top spinner from Madison there that she bowled. The one that comes, that looks like it comes out of the side of her hand.
So really an outstanding performance from the spinners here from the Coronations, and in a bit of trouble here are the Thistles. 26 for 2. After 7 overs, and in fact after 8 overs now. 8 overs bowled, 26 for 3 after 8 overs, and it is going to take good innings from Lise Marie Marks together with Trisha Chetty to one feels get them to this total.
Yes, 78 off 72, a little bit tougher now, but with the experience of Trisha Chetty at the one end, they can make it home. Will the Thistles? It'll be very interesting to see how Trisha tries to navigate these next 12 overs.
So Trisha Chetty is on strike, and there's a change of bowling which we had to have from this side. Mlaba having finished her 4 overs, and we have Southwestern District's Jane Winster, who's going to be bowling her off breaks from the Weinberg end. That's well bowled.
Slightly quicker there, darted into the right-hander, not giving her much.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see too much air from Jane Winster. Well, let's see how she goes, but not really much turn on offer either.
A little bit more air on that one down the leg side. There is a sweeper at square legs in Tlekula. Only a single will suffice there for the Thistles.
So as we were saying, spinners doing the job, and there's another spinner here in the Coronations lineup. Jane Winster is plying her trade out in the Garden Route area, and I believe was a product of that's Michaela Andrews, I believe, was in there. So the Thistles, so this is not an easy target now for the Thistles, and that one Elise Marie marks his first delivery, and she's flashing at it outside the off stump, not getting a touch.
This has always been the problem we've had with this Thistle side, is that outside of the top order there's nothing really
That's right.
to help them in terms of batting. They're a great strong bowling team. Stumping chance there, and the umpire says not out.
Saying not out.
But what it does, it creates that cacophony of sound that creates the pressure.
It does. It's becoming a lot more pressure on the Thistles team here batting, and we're having a look at this again, and taken, and that looks like it's
just on the line.
Tough decision for the umpire, and one can understand why that was given not out, as one understood with the run out in the earlier match. It was also given not out.
Elise Marie letting it go through there, as Alex Candler getting her throwdowns here on the side.
That's last ball of the Winster over, and again just tapped to Laura Volfar to backward point, 1 off the over, and the Thistles are just really seem to be wilting under this spin attack.
Wilting indeed, in the sunlight that is happening here at Newlands, needing 77 to win off 66 balls. It looks like the team chasing again is going to find it extremely hard to win a match in this WSL edition in Cape Town.
One wonders what it has been, that it has always been the team batting second, struggling. A lot of times we've seen pressure get to the teams where they seemingly should have been an easy. Nothing's ever easy, but should have got to the target. So Landsman again.
This one, she gave a lot of flight there, and just dotted down by Trisha Chetty to get to the other end.
But it has been very. The batting been quite hesitant against Landsman, and not really used no usage of the feet. I'm guessing Elise Marie Marks may try to get the ball off the square.
Highly rated rookie is Elise Marie Marks. So much pressure on her right now to help her team get over the line. She scored a lovely 20 odd in the first game. That's another one played off the back foot. An appeal from Landsman, but the umpire Stain saying not out.
Unmoved that time, and no doubt that Elise Marie Marks must have been worried that dreaded finger was going to go up, but Landsman on this occasion not quite.
The line there was outside the off stump.
I think tough to give that one from an umpire's perspective. That could have gone either way, one feels.
And reverse sweep coming out. Whoa,
Laura
time there.
She's going to haul that one in, though, ahead of the boundary, and they'll come through for the first 2 of the innings, from what I can remember. It's been necessary for the Thistles now to start getting the scoreboard going, running along. And Madison Landsman just losing her length and line there a bit. Yeah,
so it's slightly wider, enabling that reverse sweep there. It's become a staple in the shorter format of the game. cut there, and the diving Laura Wolfhard couldn't get to that ball. They come through for a second run, and the second shoot in this over in consecutive balls.
Yeah, Wolfhard just not getting to that. Looked initially like it may have been a catch, and then the ball spinning away from her and unable to gather. And that is helping the run rate in terms of this over. And so far, 5 off it.
Lots of flight there in the air and caught.
My word! Wow!
What a catch by Laura Wolfhard, diving forward, coming around the corner there behind square and taking a lovely diving catch to dismiss Trisha Chetty. Another reverse sweep, but this time Madison Landman dragged it slightly back, mistimed shot, and she has her 3rd wicket.
She has indeed. Top edge as the very dangerous Trisha Chetty's gone for 23 off 34 balls with just 2 fours, and it is now indeed, as Paul was mentioning earlier, Alexandra Candler coming in now to join Elise Marie Marks at the crease, and one must say that the Thistles are in a spot of bother.
Yes, under the spotlight with Wilting,
Definitely.
as you say.
Yeah.
And you could say that effectively this could be it for them.
It could be. I mean, it could be that the Coronations are going to need to push home this advantage.
Yes, and with
now.
Ayabonga Kaka, Nadine de Klerk with 3 to go each.
Yeah.
It's going to be very hard for them to win it from this point.
And seen some that one Chetty really hanging back too much. One feels
unnecessary reverse sweep required.
Yeah.
You tend to ask, is she afraid to come down the wicket as being a wicket keeper and having all those stumpings before she realized that maybe playing forward to a spinner could be quite dangerous?
Yeah, didn't see her at all in the innings come forward to the leg spinner.
With the amount of flight that Madison is giving, she could have essentially come forward and punched it into the gaps.
And that would have made Madison Lunsman think a bit about the length. She's been allowed to bowl it there, give it the flight, and not been taken on. And she must be incredibly happy with her return. 3 wickets for 10 runs off her 3 overs, and together with Nonkululeko Mlaba, but 7 overs, 4 for 21 for the spinners. You can't ask for better than that, can you?
Yes, no, you can't, and that's what Nadine de Klerk is wanting. Lots of energy in the field from the Coronations, which is what you want to see. Lots of overs of spin now, largely probably because this pitch has already started to die out.
It is slow, isn't it? It's a slow pitch. The fast bowler is not really getting any purchase on here at all.
Yes, and the bounce is getting lower and lower.
Oh! And that's, again, a dangerous shot to play against an off spinner, although she's really pushing it through, isn't she, Jane Winster?
Which is why Laura used her in that first game, in that final over.
And they're still not going to get a run as Kamoto Rapo is in quickly.
She's also another option to bowl.
Okay.
She's a wrist spinner for Gauteng, so I don't think that should be used today.
It's that one.
That was
umpire Van Staden thinks about giving the wide, but doesn't do so. And right-handed Candler.
But it's a dot ball, nonetheless. Very
3
important.
of them in the over so far. One sense of the tension is almost palpable here for the Thistles.
Another dot ball, and Nadine de Klerk sending out her point fielder to the boundary to try and she comes in to a short extra cover, possibly baiting Alex Candler.
Oh, well there, it's going to go straight to her. Indeed, as you say, and Paul, that's a really good captaincy, and only 1 ball left in the over, and it's been 5 dot balls so far. And
giving Jane the ability to try and just give it a little bit of flight. Candler coming down the wicket, but that ends that over. It's a maiden from Jane Winster, maiden over in the 11th. Something the Thistles do not want.
So Jane Winster bowled 2 overs for 1 run, and that's in a T20 match, particularly when today and yesterday we've seen scores in excess of 140.
First match, 249 runs were scored.
Yeah, it was incredible. Yeah, so
299.
299. Yeah. So and this match now has been a complete reversal of that, with the senior players, batters in both teams, having gone quite cheaply. That's been the difference as it currently stands. So a big job for
Madison to complete her set of 4. How many more scalps can she get?
We shall see. My goodness.
Swing and a miss, playing all around. That was Elizabeth Marie Marks in the it pitched outside leg there, turning in to the right-hander.
Probably fortunate to get the pad on it, actually.
Yes, if there was no pad, possibly off stump would have been gone. Really great controlled bowling from the youngster. And it is a leg spinner and bamboozles both batter and keeper, and goes behind for a single.
So it is a bye, and wasn't sure whether perhaps Elise Marie Marks got a scratch on that.
She'll probably say she did.
She probably will. It would have got it off the mark, would it? Yes, it would have done. So it's Candler on strike to the very impressive, in this innings, definitely very impressive Madison Landsman.
And Candler comes down the wicket to the pitch of the ball and plays back to the bowler.
Are we watching a T20 or a Test match here?
That's some great bowling here from Landsman. Sweep, LBW appeal, not out, called by the umpire there.
I think that was very ambitious appeal.
Pitching outside leg?
So it could have been outside leg. I think possibly just with it being front foot as well, leg side-ish. I think it's good. Bounced outside leg, hit the foot outside leg. No chance for that one.
And another leaning edge there. Madison Landman has bowled a set of very good balls in this over, and she still hasn't gone for a run.
No, it's been by, so no runs accruing against the bowler in this over so far. And there's still no runs accruing against the bowler, so that is now the second maiden in a row. Only one run off the last 2 overs, and it has really been an outstanding bowling performance from the Coronations
high fives all round. Madison Landman will soak that in. Really great. Everyone wants to be her friend.
And indeed they do. So just looking at it, and this will be my last over commentary for this version of the WSL. It's been an absolute pleasure being with the team here, and just to say thank you to the Western Province Cricket Association, the organisers of the WSL, for their hospitality. It's been really great, and looking forward to watching some more women's cricket.
Yes, and Cricket South Africa will wait the WSL Johannesburg version, possibly 4.0.
Fantastic. And looking at how this tournament has gone, some really competitive cricket, some close finishes, and some really exciting youngsters.
Lots
Absolutely.
of collapses, runs, and there's a stumping chance.
She's gone. My goodness me.
And Elise Marie Marks coming down to have an agricultural slog, missing everything, and Veronis already doing what she does best behind the stumps with that stumping.
So now the score 35 for 5, and that's Elise Marie Marks is out for a duck, and she faced 9 deliveries. Actually, 9 deliveries for that duck, and Alex Candler really on the other side is struggling on 1 of 11.
She was way out of her crease.
So the spinners for the Coronations have now bowled 10 overs and 2 balls and taken 5 wickets for 22 runs. That is incredible.
There's no need to bowl yourself.
no.
If you're Nadine, just allow. I think even now I'd give the ball to Khomotsa and ask anybody, can anybody bowl spin?
Well, that's right. I mean, now that the remaining run rate required for the Thistles is 9 runs per over. with only 5 wickets in hand, and the bowlers have started to come into bat. Shabnam Ismail, really the last hope, one feels, for them.
Yes, Shabnam Ismail coming in for the Thistles there. She can hit the ball long, which is why you've got long on, long off, mid-wicket coming in. So you don't have a long, you don't have a long off. You've got long on, mid-wicket, and deep square leg, and the fielder
Deep
Tasman
cover.
Brits at deep cover on the boundary.
So they're going to give her the single on the leg side, but one feels that Jane Winster will be bowling that across the left-hander, and hoping it's going to go out onto the offside, but it's just tickled around the corner
That
nicely.
line wasn't great.
No, it wasn't. I think she just struggled to adjust her line to the left-hander, and she'll be able to bowl that line to the right-handed Alex Candler. 3 balls left in Winster's 3rd over, and then we'll have only another 7 overs as the run rate. Every time there isn't a run scored, that run rate just starts to climb.
Yes, the tough part that is a scoreboard pressure is always
Absolutely.
be on your back.
That's another good delivery. But, well played by Candler in this instance, and Zintle Kulu has been doing good work out there on the
Very
square
good
leg
fielder
boundary.
there, Zintle. And as we say, you get promoted for good fielding by being banished to the outfield, and she's been in the outfield for the past 2 games.
Possibly not getting a bowl today with the spin trio doing the trick here. That's another good ball.
Yes. Single taken, the Thistles really struggling to get to this target of 104, and 1 more ball left.
To go, So much for me saying this was an easy target for the Thistles, and Chris, you did well in your reply, and it'll be Chris who will be joining you
never
after
easy,
this delivery. It is
James.
never easy. Never say never.
Life is never easy. And
great delivery.
as Alex Candler saw there, realized there that ball wasn't as easy to play, even though it was short. End of the 13th over, 38 for 5. Thank you very much,
Thank you very
James.
much, Paul and Chris,
And it's
to
been
the
such a
Pitch Vision
pleasure.
team, and we'll chat to you again soon.
It's been such a pleasure to have you on for this WSL version 3.0 held at the 6 Gun Grill Newlands. Final 7 overs of the 3 days of play. Chris, my friend, let's land this plane safely.
Yeah, excited to see Jade De Figueiredo bat for the first time so far in the series.
It is it Jade De Figueiredo, or is it what is it? It is number 13, Shabnam Ismail.
Everything's been mixed up.
Yes, the scoreboard is playing a few games with us there, being bamboozled. There is a clear 3 at the back of that jersey. So we're going to see the leg spin of Khomotso Rapu now in the beginning of the 14th over. Leg spinner from Gauteng. Nice little flight, putting outside that off stump of the left-handed Shabnam Ismail, and she can't get any bat onto it. Nadine de Klerk is enjoying this moment. I love how aggressive she's been with the spin bowling, identifying very early that spin bowling is what's going to win you the game. Coming down the pitch, and Madison Landsman takes an easy catch at extra cover, and Shabnam Ismail's stay at the crease isn't long enough.
Throughout the series, we've been talking about how tempting those very flighted deliveries are. Shabnam Ismail, a little bit impatient there, double stepping, coming down the wicket, and it doesn't make it past the ring.
She isn't going to die trying. So that brings it to 38 for 6. The Thistles are going to be bowled out for a very low score.
Again, a bit early to say that. Never say never. Either way, Moseline Daniels looks like she's coming to the crease. Why not?
What Johan's trying to tell you, Chris, is that it looks like it will happen. It may be a bit early, but as you've seen with this team, very strong bowling attack, but that leaves a batting lineup that has a very long tail.
Not saying that they won't, that they'll do it, but not necessarily bowled out either. 7 overs, 5 wickets. Annika Bosch.
Yes.
Oh no, Candler.
So
Candler
Khomotsa Rapu with her first wicket in WSL of 3. She took 4 wickets in the previous editions of the WSL. Good to have for her to be on the board. Another leg spinner, and it's played on by Alex Candler. She went down for the sweep, and she caught the ball caught the back of her bat, landing onto that leg stump.
And the Coronations have a dance that they've done for the last 2 wickets anyway.
Khomotsa Rapu letting the selectors know at this late stage in the tournament that she's also requiring a little bit of a look in from that perspective. Some great bowling there. Alex Candler really disappointed in that shot. It just went, I don't even think she hit it.
No,
it just went straight through. Great bowling there from Rapu in terms of, yes, it was the top spinner. You can see the 3 fingers coming through there, and it just held its line and taking that.
And kept quite low as well.
Yeah, taking that leg stump. She's on a hat-trick ball that we can talk on. The Thistles finished on a team hat-trick. So let's see if Khomotsa Rapu and Nadine de Klerk has rewarded her with a slip. And it is Jade de Figueiredo playing it down to Jane Winster.
Averts the hat-trick. We'll have to wait until the second leg of this. Oh, could still happen. Still 5 wickets left in the bag.
It's actually 3 wickets left in the bag. And another ball that goes straight through everyone, including the keeper. This one missing the top of middle there, and it will be signalled byes, and it'll be 1 bye to the Thistles. Leg spin and wrist spin still proving to be a very important bowling option in a T20, as we are witnessing here at the WSL. Leg spinners galore and spinners galore in this Coronations team, proving the undoing of the Thistles. Marceline Daniels playing it off her hips there to the fielder at mid-wicket for no run. End of the 14th over. 2 wickets have been taken for 1 run, and it will be for no runs, 1 bye there. So Khomotsa Rapu's figures are 1 over, 2 wickets for no runs.
Yeah, a brilliant way to make your way into the side, finally get a chance in the 3rd game. Can't ask for much more.
Yes. Anybody else in the Coronations ball spin? Can Laura Wolford ball spin? But it's good to see that Nadine de Klerk is playing to the conditions. The pitch has become slower, and by also bowling spin, you're forcing the batters to use their own strength to hit you over the inner field there. And it will be Jade de Figueiredo to face Jane Winster, and spinner versus spinner, and pushed out.
Bit of her own medicine. Jade de Figueiredo bowling lots of effective loopy spin. Winster not quite as loopy, she'll dart it in a bit more.
Yes. Sweep shot to a square leg, and Kula doing a great job there of preventing the 2nd run. Score goes up to 40-7 after 14 overs. The run rate required after having started being around about 5 is now at 11.3. And that shows you the value of wickets, and even with these low totals, you're never truly out of it. Well, as the Thistles showed the starlight in the first game as well.
Exactly.
Daniels plays that out to the leg side. They'll come through for a single.
And the curse of chasing continues, trying to figure out exactly what it is with that scoreboard pressure, but no one been able to successfully chase so far in the competition.
Gotten close, but never.
Lots of very close games.
The previous game was a 1-run win, which got quite exciting towards the end, and 2 full from Jane Winster, enabling De Figueiredo to play it out to the leg side for a single.
But definitely won't mind the singles. Even the singles are increasing that required rate.
And 3 fielders on the boundary on the leg side. It's an appeal, and the umpire gives it out. Initially, we thought that was pitching outside leg, but Moseline Daniels will have to walk as Jane Winster gets rewarded for some really good bowling there. That one was outside the leg stump.
Yeah. 42 for 8 now, and I'm starting to think the Thistles may not win this one.
So you're only starting to think about that.
I'll finally admit that.
Welcome
fact.
to the team, Chris. But look, Dumi Sikukune is coming in now to face this very crafty bowling from the Coronations. They're just using everything they have.
Found that weakness to spin and really leveraged it as far as they can.
Yes, and Jane Winster has 1 ball left in her allotted 4 overs.
Unbelievably economical so far. Spoke about the fact that in the last edition of the WSL, she had the lowest economy rate of anyone to bowl more than 10 overs. She was a little bit expensive in the first game, going at 6 and over, and 6.5 in the second, but brought it right back down in this, where she's
So the spinners, 1 ball shy of 13 overs, have taken 8 wickets and have gone for 28 runs. That is unbelievable from the you would call it a spin quartet of the Coronations. 4 spinners used, 2 wrist spinners and 2 off spinners, and this one played out to the offside for a single. End of Janae Winster's 4 overs. She finishes on 2 wickets for 7 runs.
unbelievable economy rate.
Deadly bowling by spin. Death by spin. Not death by chocolate, but death by spin.
But the only puns I'm thinking of are far too forced. I'll leave those to James.
Well, you can try. So Jane Winster finishes her WSL with 4 wickets, and the only other wicket takers in this side, Nadine de Klerk and Ayabonga Kaka, have not taken a wicket yet. Khomotso Rapu with a full toss there to De Figueiredo, who pulls that out, sweeps that out to the leg side for a single. Fielder there's in Lekula. 2 wickets to go for this Coronations team to leave us with this version of WSL 3.0 with 3 teams, with 2 teams on 2 wins, and the remaining 2 teams just on 1 win each as they head to Johannesburg in the new year. And Dumi comes down the wicket to Khomotso Rapu and plays it back to her.
Anyway.
Khomotso in again. Dumi coming through, and she's stumped. Khomotso Rapu has her 3rd wicket. The wrist spinners in the Coronations taking 3 wickets each, but Khomotso's got a lot more balls to try and take.
But
only
one more wicket to take. Though.
Yes.
They can't go too far ahead. And
Dumi Sikukune back for no runs.
It does look like the Coronations will go to the top of the table if they finish this quickly enough, based on net run rate.
Yes, the table that will be completed in the leg in Johannesburg. So we'll have another edition of this incredible exhibition
WSL
of
3.5, I suppose.
We'll call it a 4. We had 2 WSLs last year, 1 and 2. And this one will be a 4th one. And the last player to come out is the leading wicket taker, in the WSL 3.0. That is Nombulumko Banetti looking to try, and I think from this point on is just get your team to 20
Play
overs.
for yourself.
Get some runs under your
Score a
belt.
few runs, prove that you can do it.
Yes, Nombulumko Banetti has not batted in WSL before. This is her first ball that she'll be facing in the WSL across all the editions. This will be, if the Coronations manage to get this wicket, they will be the second team to bowl out to take all 10 wickets in this 3-day tournament that we've had here at the 6-gun Grill Newlands. Khomotso in. Banetti playing that down the leg side and missing it entirely. Veronesa already doing an incredible job of anticipating that the ball's going down the leg side and making sure that she gloves it to prevent any buys.
Very flighted delivery this one, a full toss. LBW appeal, but I don't think there's
No,
anything in
umpire
that one.
is unmoved. And a sweep shot there from Banetti to get her first runs in a WSL, opening that account, although quite late in the tournament, but still something for her to hang her, to take home with her, is that one run. Now, the spin bowlers of the Thistles have been
it's
mostly
just
all
Rapu.
been used
Rapu
now.
is overslept,
So
so-
the question is, will we see
Maybe
another spin bowler?
Or it
And-
just goes to Ayabonga Kaka, I think.
It's
Oh,
Azinhle
Azinhle
Kula,
Kula.
who
Fine.
is a right arm medium a bowler.
Yeah, she's bowled 4 overs so far in the competition, yet to take a wicket. So maybe a captain giving her a chance to get on the board in that
7
sense.
bowlers used by the Coronations.
Often 7 bowlers are a signal that you're under the pump and trying to find solutions. In this case, it's more just giving people a
Spreading,
chance.
sharing
I
the
guess.
love,
Yeah.
giving the wickets around, spreading those wickets around.
She did take 2 wickets in last year's edition of the WSL, Azinhle Kula.
Leg side field with Landman at long on. You got Brits at mid wicket and a fine leg fielder there at the top. Swing and a miss from Banetti there. There's a fine leg. There's a fielder at mid wicket. That's Ayabonga Kaka. You've got mid off, extra cover point, backward point, and a fielder at third man. Full length ball driven out by Banetti, looking for that run, but sent back by her partner. It just all unraveled for the Thistles. Really surprising from the fact that they did such a great job to restrict the Coronations with Laura Wolfhard and Nadine de Klerk at the top of the order to 103, but not being able to get that through. Swing and a miss there as well. Banetti playing around that ball, and the ball just going inside of her bat to disturb nothing actually.
Yeah,
and no run.
We're very much on track to have a high scoring game and low scoring game on the same day.
Banetti in the air and will be caught. That ends WSL 3.0 with a win for the Coronations.
Khomotso was the catcher there.
Ending it all. She's in the business everywhere, is Khomotso Rapu. The Coronations win by 59 runs in this final match of the WSL. That leaves both the Thistles and the Coronations on 2 wins each, heading to Joburg for the next version of the WSL, which will be played in the new year. Chris, do you have any final words regarding this week and this match?
I'm just grateful for the opportunity to do some live commentary. We've all been missing cricket, and the opportunity to actually be at the ground, commentate on the game that we love. It's been a real privilege.
Yes, and I must say thank you to CSA, to the organisers of the WSL, to the Newlands and the Western Province Cricket Union for hosting us, as well as the team at Pitch Vision, the team at for getting us all the visuals that we would need. But a really great tournament and great showcase of women's cricket in South Africa. We'll be back again in a couple of months' time for the next version of the WSL.
And before that, we've also got the Pakistan-South Africa International Series coming up in January.
And so lots of women's cricket on the go, so do follow it and check it out as well. But from myself, Chris, and James, thank you very much to everyone involved in allowing us to be able to bring this to you, the viewer. We hope you enjoyed every minute of the cricket. Thank you very much. And from ourselves here at Six Gun Grill Newlands, for the last time, le sale kakagiso.